We are going to start a powerful webinar today, which is called as Diabetes Reversal Program by Dr. Pawan Madhavan. And uh, we will be talking on diabetes today. Yes. So the thing is, um, I'm just checking out what is happening. We are on having just settings. Whosoever is seeing this, please say hello in the Facebook. And so we are just in the settings now. Uh, Hopefully it will start. Thing. In the settings, I just want to check my audio. Hello guys. Is my voice clear? Hello guys. Is my voice clear? Hello. Please say yes. I'm very clear. So I am right now live on YouTube and my voice seems to be very clear. And let's start the webinar. No people have joined right now, but we will start it now. I think I'm live, and let me share my screen with you people. Desktop and share the computer sound and share screen. So our presentation is now right now it's live. We're live here, and this is our program, and we are starting the program right now. Diabetes Reversal Program. So first of all, thanks to my guru, Professor Park Jae-woo, for giving me this consciousness of triagen food consciousness, which has allowed me to solve the problem of diabetes. Diabetes को solve करना बहुत easy हो गया है triagen food consciousness आने के बाद. Just look at this video for 5 minutes.
और अभी मैंने आज 4 तारीख को चेक करवाई तो मेरी 121 मिली
बिना दवाई
बगैर दवाई कोई दवाई कुछ नहीं
खाने के बाद आज
हाँ खाने के बाद
आप मान तो बिना
Hold
दवाई
on, guys. Voice is little slow. Stop showing and let me go there to look at the voice. Voice should be high. Oh, and now screen sharing again. Share the screen.
फ्रेश है शुगर ठीक होती है ठीक है
ये खान पान से थोड़ी गड़बड़ी थी मेरी
थैंक यू
नहीं आती थी।
अब इंसुलिन बंद हो गई है।
इंसुलिन बंद हो गई है। डॉक्टर साहब का मैं बड़ा शुक्रगुजार हूँ।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
आई थी, फिर 192 आई है और आज टेस्ट कराया तो 82 आई।
अब आपकी दवाई बंद कर दी गई है?
दवाई बंद कर दी है। अच्छा, परहेज में ये दूध की चीज़ बंद कर रखी थी सारी।
अच्छा,
ये सूखा खाना खाया था, जैसे कि मोट की दाल।
मेरा नाम श्याम सुंदर, सन ऑफ श्री लालचंद, 42A शांति नगर में रहता हूँ। मैं जिस दिन 18/2 को यहाँ दवाई लेने आया था, अभी महीना होने में 2 दिन बाकी हैं। तो मेरा वजन था 112 किलो और शुगर थी 280 के करीब। आज मैं हैरान हो गया हूँ। बीच में भी वैसे मैंने अपना वहम दूर करने के लिए कराई तो 157 थी। आज मेरी 107 शुगर है और 100 किलो वजन है, 101 भी नहीं है। 10-11 किलो वजन कम हो गया। खूब भूख लगती है और कोई कमजोरी महसूस नहीं हुई।
शुगर से परेशान था और लास्ट 3 ईयर से आई एम सफरिंग फ्रॉम द शुगर। और मेरी शुगर 300 350 रहती थी टैबलेट लेने के बाद। मैं ग्लायरी M2 टैबलेट ले रहा था, डॉक्टर ने रिकमेंड की थी। और उसके बाद भी मेरी शुगर जो है 250 पौने 300 रहती थी। तब डॉक्टर पवन वधावन का मैंने नाम सुना, मैं इनके पास आया ट्रीटमेंट के लिए। तब इन्होंने मुझे एक डाइट चार्ट दिया कि आपको ये डाइट चार्ट फॉलो करना है और आप ये सब चीज़ें खाइए और ये टैबलेट आपने लेनी है और आपकी शुगर नॉर्मल हो जाएगी। मैंने वो डाइट चार्ट फॉलो करना शुरू किया। विद इन 15 डेज मेरी शुगर बिल्कुल नॉर्मल आ गई थी। 110 105 मेरी शुगर आ गई थी। तब मैं डॉक्टर साहब के पास दोबारा आया। मैंने डॉक्टर साहब से कहा कि डॉक्टर साहब शुगर जो है वो लो हो रही है, अब 110 तक आ गई है मेरी। डॉक्टर साहब ने कहा कोई बात नहीं, टैबलेट कम करके अभी आप कंटिन्यू कीजिए। और मैंने कंटिन्यू किया, टैबलेट मेरी कम हो गई और विद इन 2 मंथ शुगर बिल्कुल नॉर्मल थी। तब मैंने वो टैबलेट भी बंद कर दी। आज पूरे 3 मंथ मेरे को हो गए उस कोर्स को फॉलो करते हुए और शुगर जो है मेरी बिल्कुल नॉर्मल है। अब जो है मेरे को इंटरनली भी मेरी बॉडी जो है बहुत मेरे को महसूस होता है कि इंटरनली मेरे को फील होता है कि आई एम फीलिंग मच बेटर। अंदर से मेरे को महसूस होता है कि बॉडी मेरी अब ठीक है। पहले थकावट रहती थी, इससे कुछ काम करने का मन नहीं करता था। अब मेरा शरीर जो है मेरे को सपोर्ट करता है, मैं कुछ भी काम कर रहा हूँ, मेरे को वो थकावट नहीं होती है। थैंक्स टू डॉक्टर पवन वधावन, इन्होंने लाइफ जो है मेरी चेंज करके रखी है।
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू।
जो ट्रीटमेंट था वो स्टार्ट किया है। उससे इतना पहले मैंने फर्स्ट टाइम जो चेक की थी, शुगर अपनी लेवल था 220। उसके 4 दिन बाद मैंने चेक किया, लेवल था 150 RBS। लेकिन उसके 10 डेज बाद मैंने अपनी दोबारा से चेक की, वो 150 ही थी RBS और फास्टिंग थी 110।
वेरी गुड। तो आपको आराम लग रहा है?
हाँ, बहुत आराम है।
आपने कोई दवाई खाई है?
कोई मेडिसिन नहीं है,
बिना दवाई के?
बिना दवाई,
सिर्फ परहेज से?
परहेज।
थैंक यू सर। आप जैसे लोग एग्जाम्पल हैं लोगों के लिए, वी आर वेरी थैंकफुल टू यू।
मैंने आज से 10 दिन पहले ही डॉक्टर साहब से मुलाकात की थी।
हाँ जी,
तो उस दिन मेरी ब्लड थी 330।
ठीक है।
तो उसके बाद जो डॉक्टर साहब ने मेरे को डाइट पे वो दिया, तो मैंने उनका पालन किया। और उसके बाद 4 डे के बाद मेरी खाना खाने के बाद शुगर आई 190।
वो 119?
हाँ, 119।
ठीक है।
तो जो 3 दिन के परहेज से जो 170 सी शुगर थी वो 130 आ चुकी है।
130 सिर्फ 3 दिन में?
केवल 3 दिन में।
दवाई खाई है कोई?
दवाई कुछ नहीं खाई, पहले भी मैं 2-3।
मेरे को 14 साल से शुगर है और मैं दवाई 3 गोलियां तो डेली या 4 खाती थी। अब मैं 1 गोली जब से इस सेंटर में आई हूँ, 1 गोली कर दी और मेरी शुगर 132 आई।
पहले
शुगर 350 प्लस रहती थी। डॉक्टर साहब से इलाज करवाया, 20 दिन के बाद मेरी शुगर अब 88, 100, 115 ये आ गई।
आप पहले कितनी गोलियां खाते थे सर?
मैं 5 गोलियां खाता था।
तो आज हमने सारी गोलियां बंद कर दी।
आज आपने सारी गोलियां।
आपको फील कैसा होता है?
फील ठीक हो रहा है।
थैंक यू।
2 गोली सवेरे 2 शाम खाता था। अब मेरे को 1 महीना दवाई खाने से आधी गोली पे आ गई।
नहीं, पहले 2 गोली सुबह खाते थे, 2 शाम को खाते थे। अच्छा, और कितनी शुगर रहती थी?
मेरे 200 और 300 के बीच।
अच्छा, और उसके बाद अब क्या हो रहा है?
अब ये खाना खाने से पहले तो है 100 से 150 के बीच।
अच्छा।
खाना खाने के बाद 200-150 के बीच। मेरे को काफी रिलीफ है।
20 यूनिट इंसुलिन लगाते हैं।
If you are able to clearly listen to my voice, please say we are able to listen to you. Please type in the Facebook you are able to listen to me.
नमस्कार भाई साहब, बताइए.
Anybody who is seeing, please type there.
मेरी शुगर पहले 219 थी. मैं आया, उसके बाद मैंने नेचुरल ट्रीटमेंट लिए, रनिंग करी, एक्सरसाइज करी, परहेज किए, फ्रूट्स, नेचुरल चीज़ें खाई मैंने. उसके बाद मेरे महीने में मेरी शुगर कम होके 120 आ गई है जी.
आपने कोई दवाई ली है?
नहीं, दवाई नहीं.
Please
कितने दिन परहेज किया?
able to listen to me in the Facebook. Please type below that you are able to listen to me.
Normal khana.
Okay, great. Sheshwar Gabaji, thank you so much for your kind this thing, and yes, I am with you, and yes. So great. We will start now, and
लेकिन अभी भी ठीक है सर. मैंने आपको बताया था पहले मेरा फिस्टुला का ऑपरेशन हुआ था.
अच्छा.
वो दोबारा लीकेज.
So these are the so many interviews which I have compiled. There are around 300-400 interviews are there. The people who have been cured of diabetes in the Panipat, and it is simply the food adjustment which have made this thing possible, right? So we will see what are the. Can you see what are the top 20 causes of death in the world? The top 20 causes of death in the world are high blood pressure is the #1 cause. The world loses so many people because of high blood pressure. Maximum number of death people die in 1 year due to high blood pressure. Second is due to tobacco smoking, and third is household air pollution from solid fuels. But can you imagine here? Diet low in fruits is the 4th leading cause of death in the world. 4th leading cause of death in the world. We are eating less fruits. And high blood sugar, high fasting blood sugar is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th most common cause of death in the world is diabetes. This is from Lancet, right? And what has happened here? So death attributable risk factors as per death attributable to risk factors and risk factors clusters worldwide. Diet high in sugar sweetened beverages kills around 29 lakh people. 29 lakh 9,000 people every year. 110, 100,000, 10,000 lakh. 29 lakh people die because of eating Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Diet high in processed meat causes 84 lakh people to die. Diet low in whole grains causes 1,72 lakh people to die every year. Diet low in vegetables causes again high number of deaths and high blood pressure is also there. Diet low in fruits also causes so many deaths. 4,90 lakh people die because of diet low in fruits. Now, model of lifestyle disease. There are 4 types of lifestyle disease which are prevalent in the world. Hypertension and the heart disease is one of the leading killers in the world. Cancer, cancer is again the second most common cause of death in the world. Diabetes is causing so many people to die, and autoimmune problems are the 4th lifestyle disease which we can tackle simply with diet. How to heal the human body? Remember, human body is like a car. Human body is like a car. If you bring a car, it can have 2 to 3 types of problems. Either some of the nut bolt gets cracked, like maybe brake is not working, or mirror is not working, or some steering is not working, and you go to the mechanic to repair that thing. In the same way, human body is a imported Mercedes car made by God. It can also have some of its nut bolt get loosened up, like maybe headache or eye pain or some disc prolapse. And at that time, what you need to do is you need to go to a doctor, maybe allopathic doctor, it may be homeopathic doctor, it may be some sujok specialist, acupuncture specialist, or homeopathy specialist. And what they will do the job of the mechanic. They will tighten up that screw with some maybe sujok or maybe some acupuncture or some medicine. But it is still, how many times you go to a doctor? You go to a doctor maybe once in a month, and for the car some nut bolt gets loosened up maybe in once in 3 months. So you go to the mechanics very rarely. But what happens, the car should go for servicing every 3 months, right? If car is not going to the service station properly, it will not, the car will not run smoothly. So in the same way, human body also has got a lot of joints, and which need to be serviced daily in the form of maybe some walk, it needs service daily. So maybe some walk, some tai chi, some yoga, twist therapy, it will like tighten up, service the joints, and the joints will work very nicely, right? So you need to, because it is an imported car, so what we need to do is we need to do this daily, right? And then in your car you need to put petrol. You need to put petrol, which has to be, if it is high premium quality petrol, will give a very good mileage of the car. If you are putting 80-100 rupees or costly petrol, what will happen after 10 years? The mileage of your car is still very good, And in the same way, human body is a car, and what the food you are putting into your body, the food which you are putting into your body is like premium quality food, then maybe you after your age is 80 years, still you will be healthy, wealthy, and you may live longer compared to other people. But it has to be a very good quality food. And because a human body is a spiritual car also, it has some metaphysical component within it. So what happens, you need a spiritual petrol called as smile, to be smiling and calm and quite peaceful in all the situations of the life, no matter what happens. If you have this spiritual petrol, which is required not maybe once a day or thrice a day, like food you eat only thrice a day, but to be peaceful, to be calm, to be smiling is required in every situation of the life, every second. If you are doing this, your mileage will be very good. You will be disease free. This is how to heal the human body. Model of different types of food. So out of this, why I am coming to food first, because see, we can heal. This is the complete. You bring me any disease. Through these 4 components of Triorigin, we can cure anything if done properly. See, this is a limited consciousness. If you are a very good allopathic doctor, if you are a very good sojok practitioner, you are a very good acupuncture specialist, you cannot, it is a limited consciousness. You need to look everywhere. You should be very good in motions, very good in food, and very strong in meditation. If all these 4 parts are taken properly, any disease can be cured. So let me tell you, if we look at the history of the mankind, okay, in the history of the mankind is around 50,000 years of human evolution. Okay, in the first 43,000 years, we were eating a very high potassium diet, and in the last 7,000 years, when the concept of salt was introduced, when the concept of pickling came to save us from the drought, in the first 43,000 years, there were no diseases. There were no dairy products. There was no medicine culture, because there was no disease in first 43,000 years. In the last 7,000 years, we have introduction of illness at passive level. We have cow's milk introduction and the beginning of medicine. So 7,000 सालों से ही हमें disease है. Why? How? Means like if you see Ayurveda is only 1,200 years old. That's all. Maybe 1,000 years old. Before that, Ayurveda was not there, and it was not required at that time because we were not having any diseases. Maybe acupuncture, it is only 25. The Yellow Emperor's internal classic book Huang Di Ni Ching is only 2,500 years old. not maybe more than 5,000 to 7,000 years old. That's all. Acupuncture was required only 7,000 years ago. And yoga, Patanjali yoga is only 5,000 years old. So why, before that, what was there? How the people were healing themselves? The people were healing themselves by the principle of ahara vyavara. The ahara means food, and the vyavara means your conduct. आप कैसा व्यवहार करते हैं लोगों से? How you are conducting, like talking, are you peaceful or not? But by their behavior, by their meditation practices, and by their food, they were able to keep themselves disease free. There was no allopathy, there was no antibiotics at that time. Means people were living longer. Their age was around 120, 130 years. So how could it be possible? Why? Because they were using the food as the medicine, and that's why the importance of food, the importance of tri-origin food consciousness has come, and model of different types of food. In tri-origin models, the food coming from the zero world is very important. The food extorted from the other species with killing spirit, we should avoid these types of food. The food artificially made with the spirit of earning profit, like multinational companies producing the packed food, we should try to avoid it. And the foods growing naturally under God's spirit, that is in the natural state, you should eat these two things. Means you should be taking food coming from the zero world and the food growing naturally under God's spirit, right? These two foods you should be taking. What are these four types of food? Zero, the food which comes from the God directly from the sun, is the vitamin D of sunlight. Animal food like meat, eggs, fish, and dairy products are those foods which are taken from the animals with the killing spirit. These foods should not be taken because they create trouble for the animals. And all industrial, refined, processed, and preserved food, which is made with the profit, with the earning profit spirit, with the spirit of earning profit, these foods should be avoided. And the vegetable, lentils, beans, fruits, and cereals which grow naturally in the nature, raw or mildly cooked, should be taken more and more. So you should concentrate here on these two things, right? But this is also called as the tri-origin food consciousness, the WFPB, the whole food plant-based diet. So history of mankind has been clear to you, and ahara. So diabetes. In 1915 to 2017, how the story goes, diabetic patients were rare. Now everywhere there is diabetes. Loss of wind energy has happened. Era of electronics and automatic machines have come. Industrialization of food has happened. Diabetes epidemiology. There are 30 million cases were there only in 1985 all over the world. But today in 2017 and 18, we have 500 million cases of diabetes. China is the first having maximum number of diabetics, which is around 100 million. India comes second and has around 70 million people suffering from diabetes. Prevalence of diabetes in India is around 19% in the urban areas and 9% in the rural areas. So out of every 100 in our cities, 20 people are damn diabetic. My God. So 65 million people in India have diabetes, and India is going to become the capital of diabetes. In 2030, we may have 101.2 million people who will be suffering from diabetes. India is right now the second largest country with diabetic cases. Every person who lives in the cities who is a diabetic spends around 10,000 rupees per month on his diabetic associated troubles and medicines. And in the rural areas, villages, average diabetic spends around 6,250 per year for his diabetes. This is per year, 6,250 rupees per year, right? In cities, average person spends 10,000 rupees per year on diabetic medications. Annual cost of diabetes in India is around, India loses 34,650 crore rupees per year because of diabetes. age-wise, 50% of the middle-aged population, 50% of the middle-aged population has diabetes. Means the people who are from 40 to 55, if you count, bring 100 people, 50 will be diabetic. And gender-wise, more diabetes is in the males compared to the females, and all these diabetic patients suffer. Means if 60% of the diabetes have eye problem, 40% of the diabetics have skin infections, 45% of the diabetics have heart problems, and the 35% of the diabetes have kidney problems. 90% of the diabetes cases in India are due to changes in the lifestyle, obesity, and I don't agree with this, family history, mainly because of change in lifestyle and obesity. These are the two causes of diabetes. So what is diabetes? But before I start, I want whosoever is watching on the Facebook, if you are able to hear my voice very clearly, please type in the Facebook that you are able to watch me and listen to me very nicely. Please type in the Facebook. Please type in the Facebook. I just want to, whosoever is able, is watching me. Is my voice clear to you people? Please type fast. Nobody is typing. Anybody? Am I clear? Is my voice clear to you? Okay, great. People are able to hear me nicely. So my voice is very clear. Okay, right. Thank you so much. So homeostasis of the sugar. Sugar means it is diabetes is like maybe what is homeostasis? Homeostasis means it is the equilibrium in the body, and air-filled tire. You see, this is an air-filled tire, and it can have air pressure between 60 to 150 normally, which is the sugar level of the body between 60 milligram per deciliter to 150 milligram per deciliter. This is the safe drive of the body. If the air in this tire is between these two parameters, you are safe. But less than 60, if your sugar goes down below 60, this part, your body will puncture, and if it is more than 150, it will burst. It may burst any time, because you are going to suffer more from heart disease, from diabetes, or like kidney failure, strokes. So this is what is sugar simply. If you are below 60, you are in danger, and you are more than 150, again you are in danger. This is what is the homeostasis of the sugar. Now, what is a healthy person eats glucose, like food he eats, and in response to that, the pancreas produces insulin, and this insulin is here, right? So insulin is there, and wait one second. Okay, so person is eating glucose and body is producing insulin. So what is happening because of the insulin? This glucose is going into our body tissues like muscles and the liver because of this insulin. So the net result is we have very less blood sugar in our blood. This is the normal level of glucose in the blood. What happens in type 1 diabetes is person is eating food nicely, but there is no insulin. Pancreas has been destroyed. So what is happening because of that is the insulin is not there, and now what is happening is the insulin is not there, so this glucose cannot enter into the tissues. The result is the sugar levels are high, right? The sugar levels are high because of that. So what you have to do is type 1 diabetes is the result, right? So this is how the type 1 diabetes develops. In insulin resistance, of type 2 diabetes, what is happening is you are taking glucose and body is producing a lot of insulin also. Body is producing a lot of insulin and the glucose is there inside. Glucose is going, insulin is going. Then what is the hell is the problem? Even then there is some problem that this glucose cannot enter into the tissues. But insulin is there. Then where is the problem? It is called as insulin resistance in type 2 diabetes. Body is producing insulin. There is enough glucose inside. But even then, glucose is not going into the tissues, right? So this is a problem. So this is called as type 2 diabetes. But what has changed? In 1915, there were no patient with diabetes. And in 2018, there are so many people with diabetes. What has changed in our body? Our body receptors have changed. Our body membranes have changed. Our organs have changed. Liver has changed. Muscles have changed. Insulin has changed. What has changed? Bloody hell. My liver, our livers are same. Our organs are same. Our body membranes are same. But why are we developing diabetes? What has changed in us? Nothing has changed in our bodies. But food has changed. The food we were eating before has changed now. Today we eat more of industrial food, and before what we were eating was natural food. Now look at this. This is a patient of some tuberculosis or some kind of cancer, and this is a diabetic patient. The type 2 diabetes patient looks so beautiful. There is no, why? Because if you are ill, see, if you are suffering from some malaria, from some cancer or some kind of dengue shock syndrome or some typhoid fever, you will look like this. You will have very dark circles in your face and you will become thin. You will not have any appetite. But if you look at the diabetic patient, they don't tell you that I have diabetes, you can't say they are ill. Why? Because actually there is no illness inside their body. A diabetic patient, especially type 2 diabetes, who is ill? Ill is not the body, it is the food which is ill, right? So let's discuss the issue of food, the ahara vyavahara, right? Food metabolism. Now look at this picture. It is a postal system of the human body. Suppose all of you people write a post to Dr. Pawan Vadhavan, MBBS, MD Medicine, Ravindra Hospital, Panipat, Haryana. The post will come to Pawan. But suppose if you write a letter to Dr. Pawan Panipat, the post may not come to me. It may keep revolving in the Panipat here, this house, here and there, but it may not come to Pawan. So what will happen? This is how the postal system of the human body works. These are the fresh fruits and raw vegetables, and these have enzymes in that. These live enzymes are made by God, and they have a genetic code that if you take this food, it has to reach a particular place. This genetic code is written, means address written on this food is very proper, made by God. But why? How is this address proper? Let's look at it. This diagram. Okay, so all right. So if you look at this diagram, this is the microscopic section from a spinach. Spinach contains calcium, and this is the natural calcium which is present in the spinach, right? And you can see this calcium is live. It is live. It's made. These are enzymes which have calcium within them, and this is very, very live. So what happens is if you eat this spinach, this calcium in the spinach has got a potential that it has a genetic code that it should go. It is made by God that it should go into the bones and make your bones healthy. So what happens? what happens is, this is the difference between the banana and the banana chips. Here the genetic code of the calcium of banana is very clear, that you have to go into the bones. But if you fry this banana, the genetic code, the natural enzymes are destroyed. If they are destroyed, means they cannot go into the body, right? Into the bones, they cannot go. So what happens is, exact code written on the, if you take calcium tablets, there is no genetic code, there is no live enzyme, so this calcium will not go into the bones. But if you eat this spinach, this calcium will go into your bones. So what happens if you take a lot of calcium tablets is, like, this calcium may not go into your bones. It may, like a mad buffalo, it may go into, it may keep revolving in your blood like this, round, round, round. It will sit in your gallbladder, where you will develop gallbladder stones. It may sit into your kidney, where you will develop kidney stones. It may sit into your heart, and you may develop calcified walls, or you may develop heart attacks when your coronary arteries are blocked. But it will not go into your bones, and your bones will be unhealthy. The people who take a lot of calcium tablets, their bones are most unhealthy, right? So in our newspaper of local, the area where I live is the Panipat, and here in 2016, Dainik Bhaskar, which is a leading newspaper, published a big report that हरियाणा में ज्यादा दूध और अंधाधुंध कैल्शियम खाने से हो रही है पथरी, बढ़ रहा है stone belt का दायरा. Means they were saying is, the people are taking a lot of milk and calcium tablets, and in them the rate of stone formation is very high. So this was how if you're not eating the natural foods, you will develop more and more disease, right? So about our human body, the thing from where food is absorbed is the enteric plexus, and like enteric system, like of intestines. And these days they call it this enteric system as the second brain. Like one brain we have here, and there's one more brain here. It is called as the enteric nervous system as a separate entity. What happens is, this enteric, our intestines contains a lot of hormones and a lot of bacteria. Like there are so many bacteria in our intestines, and a hormone called as incretin is there in our intestines. So when the food we ate, these hormones and the bacteria, they communicate with the natural food. If you're eating a natural food, it contains enzymes, like some people are there in the food, and your gut also contains some people. There are some people who are in your gut. So what happens, you are sending people, live people, in natural food, and there are people inside. So they people kind of interact with each other, and they are very friendly to each other. They know each other since long ages, like from long last thousands of years. They know each other because our ancestors have seen like natural cucumbers, natural rice, natural radish, cabbage. These are all natural, and we recognize. So these people will go inside from our mouth when we take fresh vegetables and fruits, and they interact with the intestinal bacteria, and they see the inside the sugar levels. And if suppose your sugar levels are high, the natural food people will not go inside the body, but they will rather go down and come out of the excreta. But if suppose you are not eating a natural food, so it is like this is what is the natural food. They are disciplined and intelligent people. Like if your sugar levels are high, cholesterol is high, the disciplined and intelligent people will not go and cross the red light, but they will get a red light signal, and they will not go inside the body. Rather, they will go downwards from excreta out of the body. But if you're eating unnatural, preserved, packed food, it will not go inside the body. It will not listen to anybody. It will not listen to any red light signal. What will happen? It will directly go into the body. It will not go into the it will not listen to any red light signal, right? So they have only one way. Like VIP people, they will go inside the body no matter how much your high sugar is. If you're eating packed banana, your sugars will rather go up. But on contrary to the belief, diabetic patients of mine, when they eat banana, their sugar levels go down, contrary to the belief that banana raises the sugars. No, it contains natural enzymes, and if you are eating empty stomach bananas, it rather decreases your sugar levels. because these people are not friendly. So they don't have live enzymes. So like if we talk about the jaggery, this is the refined sugar and this is the jaggery. If you look at the microscopic section of the jaggery, it contains some receptors in the form of minerals like magnesium, chromium, zinc. And these live minerals they interact with this microflora, and they decide, these two people interact with each other and decide whether the sugar, this jaggery should go into the body or not. But if you're eating only a sugar, this has no this thing, the receptors don't know. So incretins, hormones, and the gut flora will not recognize this sugar, and this sugar has only one way to go. This is the VIP. She will always, no matter how much high sugar level is, it will go into your body, right? Into your body, and it will raise your sugar level. That's why in the International Medical Journal, a report came that jaggery is actually cytoprotective and antioxidant. Can you imagine? Jaggery good jo hai, it is cytoprotective as well as antioxidant. Why? Because it contains chromium, manganese, cobalt, zinc, and magnesium as their receptors, which is not there in the high refined sugar, right? So what happens is model of different types of food. So I discussed the food metabolism. So you are clear that food which you should eat should be natural. If you're eating a natural food, it will go, it may not raise your blood sugar levels. But if you are eating an artificial packed food, it will always and always raise your sugar levels. I think I'm very clear. See, in the question and answers, don't worry, you keep posting your questions on the Facebook, but they will be answered in the they will be answered at the end of the seminar. All the questions will be answered. Please keep posting your things, and because we have to proceed, this is a very, very, very big seminar, and you should all become master of diabetes after this seminar. What happens now? We have these 4 types of food, and let's come with this thing, the food which is taken from other species with killing spirit, that is milk and the non-veg. The first issue which has to be solved of the milk and the diabetes. In 1992, New England Journal of Medicine, they posted a article which is the bovine albumin, that is cow's albumin peptide, as a possible trigger of insulin-dependent diabetes mellitus. They proved in this study that cow's milk causes type 1 diabetes. And you know, New England Journal of Medicine, this is not me saying, you can, this is, I think, July 30, 1992, this New England Journal of Medicine, they proved in this study that cow's milk causes type 1 diabetes, and all of us take a lot of cow's milk. So type 2 diabetes and type 1 diabetes, the biggest mistake what we do is to take milk. So if you stop all the milk products for 1 week, you will be amazed to see that your type 2 diabetes will be cured within 1 week, and your sugar levels will go down if you have type 1 diabetes. This is the proceedings from the Nutritional Society, Proceedings of Nutritional Society 2000, that cow's milk and immune-mediated diabetes. Cow's milk and the immune-mediated diabetes, they also proved that cow's milk causes diabetes. Nelson's textbook of pediatrics, one of the Bible of the pediatrician, also says that early introduction of cow's milk is the sole cause for development of type 1 diabetes. There are 4 landmark trials which have proved that there is a linkage between milk intake and type 1 diabetes. These 4 popular trials are New England Journal of Medicine, which I just talked about to you. In the USA, one more study was conducted by American Academy of Pediatrics in 1994, which also proved that milk causes type 1 diabetes. And in the Finland, Diabetes Journal did a study and proved that type 1 diabetes happens due to high milk intake. And in 2005, the China study also proved that type 1 diabetes is due to milk intake, cow's milk and the buffalo's milk causes it. Why? Because if you see this thing, in the cryogen principle, I don't want you people to take this food. Which is this food? Milk, non-veg, fish and eggs. How this causes diabetes, I'm not going to prove in front of you. So Finland, which has the highest milk consumption, also has world's highest per capita rate of insulin-dependent type 1 diabetes, because in Finland people drink a lot of milk. So type 1 diabetes cases has the highest number in Finland. This is also a fact given by Diabetes Care Journal 1999. How milk causes type 1 diabetes? See, protein from the cow's milk is casein. Its amino acid sequence is what? Its amino acid sequence is its amino acid sequence is one second. Its amino acid sequence is 17. Oh, sorry, it's not working well. 17, right? So amino acid sequence is 17 number, and because of that, what happens is amino acid sequence is 17, and same is this amino acid sequence of 17 number tertiary structure. This is for casein as well as for beta cells also. Beta cells also have an amino acid sequence which is 17. So what happens when you daily take milk? Your body digests this milk. And after some time, the body gets confused that it thinks that beta cells of the pancreas are also milk, and it starts digesting our own beta cells of pancreas. And slowly, when these 17 number cells are destroyed, beta cells are destroyed fully, we develop type 1 diabetes. This is how the immunity, like protein from cow's milk, casein, immunity confuses the casein with the beta cells. Immunity attacks the beta cells, and we develop autoimmune disease called as type 1 diabetes. So what happens? Let's discuss now. Let me erase it. Please keep posting in the Facebook that you are able to listen to me whenever if you want to save the time, because every 20 to 30 minutes I will look into the Facebook whether my voice is clear to you or not. So all of you, please keep posting. Your voice is very clear. Your voice is very clear. If you keep posting, I get like confidence that I'm audible to all of you. Like question and answers will be answered later on, right? So so what happens actually in this is how type 1 diabetes develops. So I just would like to show you one video. So what happens is milk, you develop so many problems with the milk, but I will not go into the details. I will just stick to the type of diabetes and the milk link. In your Amul and Mother Dairy and all big milk companies, what happens is they have a lot of cows and buffaloes, and they don't have the time to take milk out of them. So what they do is they have a vacuum machines. These vacuum machines, when they are put and tightened into the tits of the cow, they draw 40 liters of milk in maybe 20 minutes, maybe 10 minutes. And when these screws which were tightened, when they loosen these screws, what happens is these tits of the cow start bleeding, and these people don't have time. In the evening again they tighten those screws into the tits and again withdraw the milk. So with continuous screw use with the tits, these tits become wounded and there's a pus discharge from these wounds. So what happens is because a lot of pus discharge is there. So in the US, what happened in 1996 is the US WHO filed a case against US milk industry that you are selling what is called as pure pus. And the answer from the milk industry of US was that no matter our milk contains how much pus, we are pasteurizing that milk from 0 degree, first heating the milk to at 100 degree and then cooling the milk to 0 degree. So we were pasteurizing the milk. So what happens is it does not matter that this pus discharge is there because we are heating and then cooling, so it will not infect the humans. And in the US there are 3 types of milk: the grade A, grade B, grade C. Grade A is the costliest milk, which contains which is the most costly milk, and which should contain the least pus. And in the A grade milk of US, one glass of milk, one drop of pus is there. Means by the US law, grade A milk is allowed to have over a drop of pus per 8-ounce glass of milk. My God, that is roughly 135 million pus cells per glass. So the A class milk of US has got 135 million pus cells in one glass, but as in India will be having most of the times class C milk, and you can imagine how much pus will be there in your drink, what you will be taking, right? So the milk myth is that people think there is high level of calcium which never goes into the body, it never gets absorbed into the bones. There's high level of anabolic material into the milk, which causes sugar levels like IGF is very high in the milk, which causes the sugars to go up. And there is emergence of Jersey cows. A2 beta casein is there, which is confusing and causing the type 1. Now the thing is, there is one more concept which troubles people, that some people say India has got A2 cows, which are very good and which are like from the gods, and they are actually very good for us. Yes, I may agree, because their milk may be better than A1, but let's study into this, how these studies were published that A2 milk is good. Actually, in New Zealand, there is a company which started the breeding of desi cows and developed the A2 milk, and it published some studies that the term A2 milk was first coined in New Zealand. There is a company called the A2 Milk Company which produces A2 milk with the use selectively bred desi cows. Now what happens, they published a study that effect of milk that containing only A2 beta caseins versus milk containing both A1 and A2 beta casein proteins on gastrointestinal physiology, symptoms of discomfort and cognitive behavior of people with self-reported intolerance to traditional cow's milk. And the result of this study was that the consumption of milk containing A1 beta casein was associated with increased gastrointestinal inflammation and decline in cognition. And no above adverse effects were found in people consuming A2 milk. So इन्होंने क्या किया, इन्होंने prove कर दिया कि A2 milk is very good. There are no bad effects of A2 milk. And if we look deep into this study, actually, in the last of the study, there is this line is written that this study was actually funded by A2 milk company. Can you imagine? It's a fraud. So they have mislabeled studies, misinformed studies, which are misguiding us. Always, whenever you see an international study, always go into the end of the study and see who has funded the study. If it is the company who wants its product to be promoted has funded the study, never believe that study. Same way, one more study was published that where they told that beta casein and lactose of A2 milk is very good for the people. But again, this study was again published by the A2 milk company. So what happens is, in India, we people think that that cow's milk and the buffalo's milk, like desi cow's milk, is very good for us. And because Lord Krishna, the relationship is with the Lord Krishna, that he told that milk should be taken, and we believe in that. Yes, I am also a spiritual follower of Lord Krishna, and I think he was the most wisest person which ever existed on this planet. So what happened actually, what Krishna thought is something we have to understand. Krishna's wisdom. Remember, at the time of Mahabharata, when there was Dwapar Yuga, it was the hetero era. Hetero era means there was no electricity, there was no means of wheels or communications were not there, and electricity was not there, motor vehicles were not there. So people had to walk very much. They have to walk hundreds of kilometers in the sunshine, and they had to do a hard work, so much so that they needed a lot of energy at that time. And because of the need of that energy, people used to take non-veg by killing animals and fishes. So what Krishna thought, he told that you need a lot of energy, a very high power energy, and rather than killing animals, what you do, these are cows and buffaloes. They are like God. They are like strong animals. They can bear hundreds of kgs of weight on them, and they can withstand high temperatures of the sunlight. What you do, you start drinking the milk of these animals. But Krishna inside knew that these people will misbehave with the cows and make wrong use of them. So what he labeled the cow as being a mother. He told that this cow is a mother, she should be worshipped, and the calf should be first allowed to drink mother's milk and cow's milk, and whatever small milk which is remained, you take that milk after worshipping the cow. So, but contrary to that, what happened in 1910 and 20s, people came out with the dairy industry. They came out as a business, and they started raping the cows by repeatedly pregnant. They will make them pregnant by artificial insemination, and the calves will not be allowed to drink the milk. Plus, these cows will deliver only 3 to 4 kilos of milk. So this milk is not sufficient for us. So what they will do, they will inject the cows with oxytocin injections. So they produce 40 liters of milk. And once the cow is pregnant and delivers a baby, after 2 months, again they will pregnant the cow. So which is wrong practice. This is not worshipping the mother. So this is killing spirit. It is not about A2 milk or A1 milk. It is about the plus. We people, if we milk has got a lot of calcium, a lot of calcium, and a lot of calories. If you want to digest that calcium and the calories, you should go out into the sun and do hard work for 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours. But we don't do that. So we live in our AC rooms and just sitting, doing small works, and go out for some small workouts. Means if you take 1 liter of milk, you should go into the sun for at least 6 hours, because you need a lot of vitamin D so that calcium of the milk goes into your bones. Otherwise, that will not go into your bones. That will keep revolving in your body and causing calcification of stones and heart attacks and strokes. So what happens? Krishna's wisdom is, it was the hetero era. There were no electrical resources to save the animal killing. He labeled cow as Gaumata. Cow was worshipped. First cough will drink, and remaining people will take. And they had a lot of sun exposure and a lot of hard work, because of which they were able to digest the milk. But now it is the end of that hetero era. We live in our AC rooms and we don't need milk. So milk should be avoided 100% these days, right? Things have changed, but Krishna can never be wrong. Both A2 milk and A1 milk are not good for us, because I am seeing it in my practice that even the people who are taking A2 milk, their sugar levels are going very, very, very high. So if you are a diabetic, please don't take milk. To cure diabetes or to control your sugar levels, first thing which has to be done is stop taking any milk product like cow's milk, curd, lassi, chach, ghee, butter, milk, coffee, milk tea, all things have to be stopped. Black tea and black coffee are allowed. Now let us discuss again about an animal, non-veg food. Non-veg food is what is, I say animal, which contains a lot of animal fat. Now what is the difference between animal fat and the plant fat? See, this is the unsaturated fat. This is the unsaturated fat, right? So unsaturated fat is the plant fat. It has got a complex structure like this. This is the saturated fat. And trans fat, these are animal fat. They have a simple structure like this. So you can symbolically represent this as, this is the plant fat and this is the animal fat, right? What happens? Suppose you are taking a lot of plant fat. So what will be happening in your blood vessels is this blood is containing a lot of plant fat. And if you're taking a lot of non-veg like meat, egg, fish, you have got a lot of animal fat, which is a saturated fat like this. So what do you think out of these two, which will have a tendency to deposit into the arteries? Here there can be no deposition, because these are complex structure which cannot fit one above other. So there is no deposition here. But this is animal fat and it will deposit here. It will deposit here. Right? So what is happening is ये यहाँ पे deposit होता जा रहा है, ठीक है? आप देख रहे हैं यहाँ पे ये deposit हो रहा है. So chances ज़्यादा यहाँ पे हैं कि आपको कोलेस्ट्रॉल के प्लाक्स बन जाएं और आपको स्ट्रोक होने का, हार्ट अटैक होने का खतरा ज़्यादा बढ़ जाए. ठीक है ना? तो ये आपको समझना है यहाँ पे. I also want to use some Hindi because some of Indians must be watching and it is important for them to listen to understand this. So if you're taking, अगर आप एनिमल फैट खा रहे हैं तो ज़्यादा चांसेस है कि आपको हार्ट अटैक, स्ट्रोक होगा. बट यहाँ पे कोलेस्ट्रॉल नहीं जम सकता क्योंकि यहाँ पे आप प्लांट फैट खा रहे हैं. If you're taking a lot of plant fat, your cells, membranes which are made up of fat, will have this plant fat like this. And if you're taking a lot of non-veg like अंडा, मांस, मच्छी खा रहे हैं तो आपका जो सेल मेम्ब्रेन है वो ऐसे बना हुआ है, उसके ऊपर जगह जगह पे ये एनिमल फैट जम गया है. अब आपको क्या लगता है कि इंसुलिन ने अगर बॉडी के अंदर जाके आपका खाया हुआ जो खाना है उसको अगर अंदर लेके जाना है तो कहाँ से इजी है ज्यादा जाना? Can you tell me how insulin can take this food here easily or here easily? It is easy for the insulin to take the food inside the cell if you are taking a lot of plant fat like insulin, because there is a way to go inside. Here there is all blocked. Insulin cannot go inside. So what happens is, if you're taking a lot of animal fat, this is what is called as insulin resistance. Here there is less resistance. Why? Because insulin can easily go inside. So this is the concept of insulin resistance. If you're taking a lot of animal fat, you will develop insulin resistance. National Institute of Health, they have given one study, dietary fat and prevention of type 2 diabetes. Consuming the fat from the plant-based food in its natural state can help in decreasing the risk of diabetes. The fat from animal food or industrial fat, such as various kinds of refined oil, can be and result in increasing the risk of diabetes. So if you are taking the fat from the plant-based foods in its natural state, it will decrease your sugar level. But if you take food from fat from animal food, your sugar levels will rise. This is not me saying. The National Institute of Health, which is a governing body all over the world. These are so many trials, landmark trials on comparison of animal and plant fats and the risk of diabetes. So many trials are there. They have proved that plant fat is good to eat, but that only in the natural state. I am not promoting any vegetable oils. Okay, I'm just saying like natural plants which contain oils, like maybe in cashews, almonds, in little quantities, they decrease the sugar levels. So plant protein, if you're taking animal food like non-veg, you are also taking animal protein. And if you're taking a lot of soya and lentils, pulses, you're taking a lot of plant protein. So what is the difference of these two protein sources? Research results from Women's Health Study as published in Diabetes Care Journal and results from the European Prospective Investigation into the Cancer and Nutrition, the EPIC study proves that among the subjects with the higher consumption of animal protein were also at increased risk of diabetes type 2. So who are taking a lot of non-veg, they develop more type 2 diabetes. Dietary protein intake and the incidence of type 2 diabetes in the Europe, the EPIC study, it proves that if you're taking high total and animal protein intake was associated with a modest elevated risk of type 2 diabetes in a large cohort of European studies. So this EPIC study also proves that if you're taking a lot of non-veg protein, you will develop a lot of, your sugar levels will be very high and you will develop diabetes. There are hundreds of studies which have told that if you're taking a lot of animal protein, अगर आप अंडा मांस मच्छी खा रहे हैं तो आपको डायबिटीज हो जाएगी. ये सारी स्टडीज इंटरनेशनल स्टडीज हैं जिन्होंने प्रूव किया. इनके सबको आप बाद में you can check them from the internet. All these above studies indicate that if the protein is consumed from a plant source, that too in its natural state, then it helps in insulin sensitivity and reduces the risk of diabetes. A meta-analysis as published now, many people think that fish oil is very good for diabetes, but what diabetes, the biggest journal of the diabetes in the world is the Diabetes Care Journal, and it says that the daily intake of fish oil has no protective effect on hyperglycemia in type 2 diabetes as previously assumed. Means if you're taking a lot of fish or fish oils, your sugar levels are not going to be down. Rather, fish contains fish. What is there? The fish in the sea and the ponds, like it contains a lot of carcinogenic minerals like arsenic and mercury. This arsenic and mercury are very high in concentration in this fish. So what happens if you take these fishes, eat these fishes or fish oil, these harmful chemicals gets built into your body and you develop a lot of cancers. So it is not good to eat fish, because again, as per Triagen food consciousness, when you kill the fish, you are eating a hetero food with killing spirit. This is not going to give you any health. Now about preserved food, the preserved food always has preservatives. The spirit to keep as such, the profit spirit. So all those packed materials like biscuit, namkeen, like some of kind of packed foods like chips or some biscuits, all those contains a lot of chemicals. These preservatives are chemicals and they are all very dangerous. So we should try to avoid them maximum whenever it is possible. So all vegetables oils are, see, if you are all these oils are never made in the nature naturally. They are all made by industries. So these all are vegetable oils are also unhealthy. These are not plant-based. This is a business, and never in nature never made them. Processed by companies for profit. No oil grows in the nature. But if you see in an almond, this is the almond which contains oil. But if you see carefully, there is a small oil inside the almond. All the things other is a lot of fiber. You know, this fiber contains a lot of enzymes. And if your cholesterol level is high, this fiber will not allow this oil to go into the body, but it will take this oil into the body only if your cholesterol level is low. If your cholesterol level is high, this fiber will take all the oil down from your excreta out of the body. So this is DIP, natural. If you are eating a lot of almonds, then that is good. But if you take oil out of this almond, what you make is called as badam rogan. Out of 10,000 maybe 1 lakh almonds, this much of oil will come out. And if you take this oil of almond, it is not good. It is not going to give you health. This is like VIP food, which will increase your cholesterol level. So eat almonds, it's good. Don't eat it. Don't take this oils. So there is no river or well of oil created by the nature. There's no river. All this is profit-based business. There is no oil anywhere in the nature except for petrol and diesel. So studies have proved that nut consumption is actually good for the health and diabetes. But if you're taking nuts in the natural state, this is good for the health. Nut consumption also has decreased. If you're eating nuts, then your risk of dying with heart attack is very low, because all the nuts contain a lot of magnesium. And you know what is the best medicine when somebody is going to die within 5 minutes of heart attack? It is the injection of magnesium. So if you're taking nuts, maybe 5, 10 or 15 per day, you will not die of heart attacks, right? So it is good to take some natural nuts in the form of animal plant fat, right? So about type 1 diabetes and LADA, that is latent autoimmune diabetes of adults. This is immunogenic diabetes, how to develop LADA in type 1. If you take a non-veg piece, this contains muscles, this contains blood vessels, it contains bones and joints. So this leg piece of chicken has got some resemblance to human body in the form of muscles, joints, blood vessels. So what happens is your body, when digests this leg piece daily, someday it gets confused that it starts thinking that the human body, which has got muscles, are also a meat. The joints in the human body are also this leg piece. The bones in the body are also this leg piece. The blood vessels in the body are also this leg piece. So body starts digesting our own muscles and our own bones, joints, contrary to this, called as these are the plant-based sources of the protein, where sprouts, these are the total foreign party. Here there is no resemblance, इनका कोई resemblance नहीं है human body का से, क्योंकि ये foreign party है, इनका कोई भी resemblance नहीं है. तो क्या होगा कि ये बिल्कुल भी confuse नहीं होंगे अगर आप ये ले रहे हैं कि sprouts ले रहे हैं, तो बिल्कुल भी कंफ्यूजन पैदा नहीं होगा. बॉडी इनको तो डाइजेस्ट करेगी, लेकिन यहाँ पे अगर बॉडी हर रोज लेग पीस खाएंगे या नॉनवेज खाएंगे तो बॉडी धीरे धीरे कंफ्यूज हो जाएगी और अपनी ही बॉडी पार्ट को डिस्ट्रॉय करना शुरू करेगी. इसी तरह से कैसे इम्यूनोजेनिक डायबिटीज, जैसे कि मिल्क में मैंने बताया, आपको डेवलप होती है. तो हमें नॉनवेज अवॉइड करना चाहिए. वी शुड ट्राई टू अवॉइड नॉनवेज. Autoimmune diabetes is the confusion of the immune system. If you stop non-veg, the immune system will not be confused. It will work automatically. So say no to animal foods and dairy products. Immune system must make antibodies to all substances which enters the body. It gets confused with animal foods and the dairy products. Like antibody develops against cow's milk, destroys beta cells of pancreas, results in a big spectrum of autoimmune type of diabetes. Now about Bill Clinton. He had a big quadruple coronary. Bill Clinton was very ill from 2004 to 2011. He had massive heart attacks, and he went for a bypass surgery in September 6, 2004. And this surgery again failed, did not do much good to him, and he again has to do an emergency lung surgery in March 10, 2005 after 1 year of this. And again, he was on because of the wrong food. So what happened? He again had to go for a double angioplasty in February 11, 2010. So, but if you see Bill Clinton these days, he's very fit and fine because he follows a vegan diet of whole food plant-based diet. And listen to him what he has to say. And please keep posting into the Facebook that my voice is very clear. I will be seeing now Facebook again. Please post there.
But I did it for a different reason. I did it for a different reason. I was in the way, but I didn't regret this would happen. I did it because after I had this stent put in, I realized that even though it happens quite often that after you have bypasses, you lose the veins because they're thinner and weaker than arteries. The truth is that it clogged up, which means that the cholesterol was still causing buildup in my vein that was part of my bypass. And thank God I could take the stents. I don't want it to happen again. So I did all this research, and I saw that 82% of the people since 1986 who have gone on a plant-based, no dairy, no meat of any kind, no chicken, turkey. I eat very little fish. Once in a while I'll have a little fish, not often. If you can do it, 82% of the people who've done that have begun to heal themselves. Their arterial blockage cleans up. The calcium depositor in their heart breaks up. This movement has been led by a doctor named Caldwell Esselstyn at the Cleveland Clinic, Dean Ornish, whom you know, in California, the doctors Campbell, father and son, who wrote the China study, and a handful of others. But we now have 25 years of evidence. And so I thought, well, since I need to lose a little weight for Chelsea's wedding, I'll become part of this experiment. I'll see if I can be one of those that can have a self-clearing mechanism. We'll see.
I hope you're healthy for many years and get to see grandchildren for many years.
Me too. That's really the big deal. You know, Hillary and I, we're happy. We love our son-in-law and we admire him, but and we'd like to be around if there's grandkids. We want to be there to do our part.
Mr. President, good luck.
Thank you.
So this is how Bill Clinton got cured of all his problems when he followed the plant-based diet, right? So I think this is good to start. And you know what is the difference between pizza? If you take a pizza and dig a well into your garden and burrow that pizza, and in the second well, one more well you dig into your soil and put this apple there, and you close that well with again soil and wait for 1 week. After 1 week, you open this well of soil in the soil which contains pizza. It will be smelling very badly. There will be pizza. Some of the pizza things will be there, and so there will be so much of bad smell coming out of here. And you dig this well again where you buried the apple. यहाँ पे आपने सेब को पहले आपने एक जगह पे पिज्जा को आपने गड्ढे में डाला था और यहाँ पे आपने सेब को गड्ढे में डाला है. तो जब एक हफ्ते के बाद जब आप फिर से वो मिट्टी हटाएंगे तो आप देखेंगे कि पिज्जा तो वहाँ पे अभी भी सड़ रहा है, गल रहा है, बदबू आ रही है, बट एप्पल वहां से गायब हो चुका है टोटली. एक सिवाय इस डंडी के कुछ भी नहीं बचेगा एप्पल का वहां पे, और कोई स्मेल नहीं होगी, फ्रेश होगा सारा कुछ. which means even the insects and the bacteria know what to eat and what not to eat. And you know, human beings are eating pizzas in the Pizza Hut, and Domino's are going, and nobody is paying attention to eating fruits. Wow, it's a great human beings. So different types of food. Again, food. Now we are time to talk about the food which comes from the zero world, the sunlight, right? Sunshine. Remember, for type 1 diabetes, if your vitamin D level is above 100, your sugar levels will go down, your C-peptide level will go up, and you may be able to reverse your diabetes, especially also in type 2 diabetes also. About sun, I am very, very emotional about sunlight, because I think people were going into the sun till 1970s and they were not diseased, but these days they don't go into the sun and they are diseased. So I'm very emotional about sun, and I want to show you small picture about the sun. And let's start this picture on the sun. Wait 1 second, let me do some good thing for you.
source of all life on planet Earth. Without it, we would not even exist.
Sunlight, the source of all life on planet Earth. Without it, we would not even exist. We are creatures of light. Our bodies and eyes are solar panels. The sun is so important, I dedicated a whole chapter to it in my book, Heal Yourself 101. It is one of the fundamental basics of life and radiant health. Sunlight does not cause cancer. People who get skin cancer are unhealthy. It's that simple. People in third world countries don't wear sunscreen, yet they almost never get skin cancer. Sure, many of them have dark skin, which protects you from the sun, but what happens when you go in the sun? You tan. Your skin gets darker. This is your body's way of protecting you from the sun. Yet in America, dark-skinned people are starting to get skin cancer and related melanomas. Why? Diet and lifestyle. Don't believe anyone who tells you sunlight causes melanoma. In fact, the opposite. Researchers in Sweden followed 30,000 women over 20 years and found women who avoid sunbathing during the summer are twice as likely to die as those who sunbathe every day with high exposure to sunlight. In studies all over the world, as sun exposure increases, malignant skin cancer goes down. The reason some people get melanoma after going in the sun is because they are toxic. They eat wrong, smoke, drink, and fill their bodies with all kinds of chemical crap. Their livers are clogged and their kidneys are so toxic that the blood has to push the toxins out to the skin, where it gets baked by the sun into the skin cells, causing melanoma. Wrinkles increase when people eat sugar and lots of sweet food, which cross-links the proteins in your skin, thus weakening it. Don't blame the sun, it just intensifies your condition. So get healthy now, there are no shortcuts. Kara and I do not use sunscreen. Many third world cultures who live in the sun all day don't use sunscreen or sun lotion. Sunscreen is one of the most toxic things you can put on your skin and is actually the cause of many skin cancers. Look at the label. You are literally baking those chemicals right into your skin cells, which open up when they get hot from the sun. Want cancer? Slather that crap on. Sunscreen blocks the body's ability to produce vitamin D3 from the sun's UVB rays, which is by far the best form of vitamin D. Forget those worthless vitamin D pills. You need sunlight to get the real thing. In the USA, vitamin D deficiency is at epidemic levels. This deficiency can lead to aggressive forms of skin cancer. Vitamin D protects the body from diseases like multiple sclerosis, bone disease, tuberculosis, type 1 diabetes, inflammatory bowel disease, rheumatoid arthritis, and lupus. Vitamin D is created when sunlight hits your skin, which helps remineralize your bones and teeth. It oxygenates your skin. It lowers blood pressure. It helps wounds and broken bones heal faster. It improves poor eyesight. The sun's rays contain infrared energy to detox the body and UV rays to cleanse and sterilize our skin of bacteria and fungus. God doesn't make mistakes. We are designed to be in the sun. People who don't get enough sunlight start having all kinds of physical, mental, and emotional problems. Bones go soft and depression sets in. The highest suicide rates are in places with the least sunlight. On the other hand, people who get lots of sun have more energy, they feel better, they get sick less, they have denser, stronger bones and teeth, immune systems, richer blood, and healthier nerves. Sun normalizes hormone levels and raises sex drive. It even increases the amount of iron in your blood and gives you a tan look. Low on iron? Go in the sun. Sunshine may reduce breast cancer by up to 40% and ovarian cancer by 80%. USA cancer rates are highest in states with the least sunshine. So how do you protect yourself from overexposure? The same way plants do, from the inside out. Have you ever wondered why delicate thin leaves don't wither in the sun even at 110 degrees? It's their green blood, chlorophyll. If you juice, blend, or eat green leafy plants, you get the same magic protection that protects their delicate leaves. If you want, you can also help keep your lips and skin moisturized with what Kara and I use, Be Magic. Nature does not make mistakes. We need sunlight, even if it's just 30 minutes a day. And while you're This is how we are designed. One of the most beautiful experiences is to be totally naked in nature. Let it embrace you. Swim in it. And let it heal you.
So because of this, I am very, very emotional about sun. Whosoever is diabetic or suffering from any diseases, and especially type 1 diabetes, all my type 1 diabetes patients go out into the sun for 1 hours, right? So what I want you is to understand this thing, and I think I am still live on the Facebook and must be connected to this. I have to see again into my Facebook that I am live. Please, if you're able to listen to me, say you're able to listen to me, please. Am I live on Facebook? Or my link has gone? Oh. Am I still live? So, okay, I'm live right now. I confirmed it, and we are continuing even now this thing. And still, one more time, please type into the Facebook that you're able to listen to me. Please type on the Facebook that you're able to listen to me. Okay, yes. Great, guys. So we are again starting it, and share the screen and share it like this. So what happens if your sun exposure is low? Your vitamin D of the body gets low, and your immune system gets impaired, and you have beta cell dysfunction and systemic inflammation into the body, which causes the low insulin production and insulin resistance, and you develop diabetes if you don't go out into the sun, right? So there are so many trials which have proved that vitamin D deficiency causes diabetes. Now, there are so many journals which have told that if your vitamin D level is low, you will have type 2 or type 1 diabetes, right? So go out into the sun. So now the foods which have remained is food growing naturally under God's spirit. If you eat more of natural food, what happens? The neutral food which grows in the nature under God's spirit, which is not packed or preservative or non-veg, it is not. It is simply the plants and the fruits and the vegetables. Current atherosclerosis reports of 2010. The time of cooking is directly proportional to the increase in the glycemic index of food items. So if you cook your food too much, it is not good. You should try to eat wherever possible raw food, or if you are not eating raw food, you should cook your food mildly in the form of, maybe you can steam the food, or you can you can boil the food also, but never overcook the food. Don't kill the natural animal, natural enzymes, natural minerals into it. And this journal has proved that if you eat the food raw, the raw foods, when the food is raw, its glycemic index is low. But when you cook the food, its glycemic index is high. So if you are eating, like suppose 10 grams of lentils or dal after sprouting it, and if you're eating after cooking it, the difference is sprouted dal will raise your sugar less than the cooked dal, or whatever thing you eat raw has got a low glycemic index. It does not mean that I'm saying that eat only raw, but eat a lot of raw, but take a lot of chapatis and rice also, no matter. but eat a lot of raw things. The study published in the Diabetes Care Journal states that the glycemic index of the fresh and raw fruits and vegetables is much lower than any kind of food, especially the processed food made of the same vegetable, fruits, or the food from animal sources. This is what I am telling you. Eat natural, diabetes gone. In the World War I and II, in Denmark, England and Germany, इन यहाँ पे क्या हुआ कि तीनों देशों में क्या हुआ जब इनमें वर्ल्ड वॉर हुआ तो यहाँ पे अचानक से इनका अपना फूड नहीं होता है, ये फूड खरीदते हैं बेसिकली, तो इनके अंदर जो रिफाइंड फूड की सप्लाई बंद हो गई। तो जैसे ही रिफाइंड फूड की सप्लाई बंद हुई तो इनके अंदर लोगों का जो डेथ रेट था डायबिटीज से या हार्ट अटैक से जो भी लोग मर रहे थे वो 50% से ड्रॉप कर गया, मतलब 50% डेथ रेट कम हो गया। लेकिन जैसे ही वर्ल्ड वॉर खत्म हुआ और वहां पे फिर से रिफाइंड फूड की सप्लाई शुरू हो गई तो इनका फिर से अगेन देयर death rate due to heart attack and diabetes again raised, which proves that if you're eating wrong food, you will die more of diabetes and heart attack. Number of cylinders used is directly proportional to the risk of developing diabetes. Eat natural raw food, fruits, vegetables, grams and nuts. No industrial food or packed food. Okay. Remember, if you follow this natural food, you will not develop diabetes or your diabetes will get cured. Which diet is the best? These in the whole world, there are 7 civilizations जहाँ पे लोग 100 साल से एक ज्यादा जीते हैं, मतलब 140 years तक जीते हैं। इनमें जापान का ओकिनावा, चाइना का बामा, हुंजा जो है पाकिस्तान ऑक्युपाइड कश्मीर में हमारे इंडिया के पास में एक जगह है जहाँ पे पीपल लिव फॉर 140 years। आशाकिशा में जॉर्जिया में अबाकासिया, ग्रीस में सिमी, Italy में Campodimili, Ecuador में Villa Cambia. In all these 7 civilizations, people usually live for 120-130 years because they eat natural food, which is plants. Now, about a scientist called as Luis Ignaro, this great scientist was given in 1998 इनको Nobel Prize मिला physiology में और medicine में about the signaling properties of the nitrous oxide. He proved that if you take a lot of green vegetables, what will happen if you have a blocked artery, you will develop a collateral because green vegetables contain a lot of nitrous oxide and you will develop collateral. A new vessel will be developed because of that nitrous oxide if you take a lot of nitrous oxide, and you will be saved from the bypass surgery. He proved it in 1998 and for which he was given a Nobel Prize. So he wrote a book also. उसने एक book भी लिखी, No More Heart Disease. ये book बहुत अच्छी है. Health is Wealth. ये भी book बहुत अच्छी है जो कि आपको पढ़नी चाहिए. You should read these books. To all my diabetes patients, I suggest eat this 100 grams of green leafy vegetables daily, like spinach leaves 45 grams, pan leaves. This is called as recipe for garden green delight. Pan leaves 5 grams, coconut 10 grams, kishmish 5 pieces. 5 almonds, curry leaves 10 grams, tulsi leaves 10 grams, dhania 10 grams, mint leaves 10 grams. Finally chop all these into a mixture and then take this chutney 100 grams daily. Now I want to talk to you one thing. When India in 1947, जब India आजाद हुआ, when we became independent, the cost of the dollar, Indian rupees, was equal to $1. After 10 years, the $1 was equal to 5 rupees. In 1977, around 8 rupees. Then in 1993, suddenly it jumped out to $31 was equal to 31 rupees. And today, in 2016 and 18, we have a dollar costing us around 66 rupees. I mean, what a strange thing is happening. In the same way, if you look at 1947, there was no diabetes. These are 3 countries. One is Brazil, India, and wait one second. This is Brazil, this is China, and this is India. In 1995 or before that, there was very less diabetes in India. And since 2025, by 2016, 17, 18, 25, the diabetes is rising like anything in India. So India is going to become the capital, #1 country in the world which have maximum number of diabetes. So what will happen is Actually, I don't know if people in India are becoming more diabetic. So why? What has the it relation? क्या है कि dollar is also rising like this? Because people are taking a lot of medicine. The number one industry of the US is pharmaceutical industry. So the more you eat medicine, the more money goes to the US. So is medicine a solution or a trap for diabetes? Why the hell on this earth the doses of our medicines keep on increasing? I will answer this now in drug metabolism. The drug metabolism, the concept of second brain. So what happens, whatever drug you take from the mouth, it goes to the esophagus, from there to the stomach, then into the small intestine. Okay, from the small intestine, this drug taken goes into the hepatic circulation like liver, and it goes to the liver. Whatever drug you take, it must go to the liver. So liver, what it does is, liver acts as a bodyguard. Whatever is it knows from ages, पुराने लंबे समय से, since long ages, whatever it knows, like you eat cucumber, it goes into the mouth, esophagus, then to the intestine. What happens is to the liver. So liver knows that whatever is old, like if a guard is standing in front of your door, it since 10 years, it knows if a known person like your close friend or your mother or your wife comes, it will allow that person to go into the house. But if some new person comes, it will not allow that person to go into this house. Similar way, what happens to the liver, it does not know these medicines, it does not know these capsules, so it does not allow these things to go into the body. It tries to destroy these medicines. But what doctors do, they give very high doses of the medicines, and these medicines actually, so many of medicines come, so many trucks come, so liver is not able to stop all those trucks of tablets. Some of the trucks quietly pass away like this. From here it will go here. So in this way, 500 milligram of metformin, only 10 to 20 milligram of metformin goes into the body. But what happens if you keep taking 500 milligrams of metformin again and again, the liver will try to stop. Day by day, the power of liver will increase its power to stop all these trucks. So when after 1 year you were taking 500 milligrams of metformin, after 1 year liver will be so strong that it will be able to stop all the 500 milligram of metformin, and your sugar level will start rising again, and you will go to your doctor that my tablets are not working, and doctor will make your 500 milligram of metformin to 1000 milligrams of metformin, and after 1 year again from 1000 milligram of metformin to 2000 milligrams of metformin. This is how the liver responds. Liver never allows a wrong thing to go into the body, but we douse, we make full of the liver and give high doses of the medicine which bypass this liver and enter into the body. So what happens, there's a lot of injury which happens to the liver, and liver always upgrades. It calls more policemen to stop those tablets, and drug doses will always increase. So this is called as enzyme induction phenomenon. So slowly what happens, because of these tablets, your liver becomes fatty because it is working more and more. So and slowly because it starts failing because of these so many medicines, the liver fibrosis develops, and then slowly liver cirrhosis, liver dies out. After liver will fail someday. Okay, so and all these heavy doses of drugs causes damage to our cells have got so much of receptors, and these receptors only are made by God to recognize those vegetables and plants like fruits. So these receptors only recognize, but if you take a lot of medicine, all these receptors will get damaged because of so many drugs, right? So heavy doses of the drugs cause damage to the receptors of the cells, right? So don't take these multivitamins and drugs. You should take medicine minimum wherever it is needed. So why insulin cannot be an oral medicine? Because liver never allows, if you take insulin tablet, all the tablet of the insulin will be stopped by liver. So that's why pharmaceutical industry is not able to develop oral insulin. So drugs doses will always increase. So medicine is not the final answer to diabetes. There are so many medicines and they have a lot of side effects. Like metformin causes so much of side effects. It causes vitamin B12 deficiency in the body. And आपके पैर जलेंगे, आपकी टांगे जलेंगी अगर आप मेटफॉर्मिन खाते हैं. फिर आपका डॉक्टर बोलेंगे कि आप विटामिन B12 की टैबलेट खाओ. अगर आप सल्फोनाइलजूरियल ऐसे ग्लिमीप्राइड वगैरह लेते हैं तो आपको हाइपोग्लाइसीमिया होने का बहुत चांस है. तो लोग ज्यादा शुगर हाई से नहीं मरते, लोग लो शुगर से मरते हैं. अगर आप थायाजोलिनिडियोन्स लाइक ये आपका पायोग्लिटाजोन वगैरह ले रहे हैं तो आपको कैंसर होने का डर है. फिर आजकल मार्केट में SGLT2 इनहिबिटर्स आ गए हैं जिनसे ब्रेस्ट कैंसर हो रहा है लोगों को या एम्पुटेशन हो रहा है. तो इन बहुत सी सभी दवाइयों के बहुत सारे साइड इफेक्ट है. लॉट ऑफ साइड इफेक्ट व्हिच ऑल दिस आर गिवन साइड इफेक्ट्स ऑफ दिस ड्रग्स. So you should try to avoid maximum medicines wherever it is possible. But if it is required, your doctor may give. I usually give my patients minimum medicine. Like if you are taking DPP4 inhibitors like sitagliptin, teneligliptin, all these drugs causes increased risk of congestive heart failure, and you will always, sugar patients always have sore throat. They develop more of upper respiratory tract infection. उनको pneumonia ज्यादा, गला खराब ज्यादा होता है. वो शुगर के कारण नहीं होता है, वो इस दवाई के कारण होता है. GLP-1 agonist like exenatide, Victoza, ये pancreatitis कराते हैं लोगों को, बहुत ज्यादा इनसे भी दिक्कत होती है. ठीक है, तो ये सभी दवाइयां we should try to avoid maximum number of drugs because they have got a lot of side effects. Like for example, cholesterol medicine is statin. Statin, if you take atorvastatin or rosuvastatin for maybe 2 to 4 years, in the circulation journal, they prove that statins causes diabetes. If somebody is taking tablets for high cholesterol, he will become diabetic in 2 to 3 years. I mean, you want to die of cholesterol or diabetes, it is up to you. So what happened, I would like to tell you about a big scam. The scam of rosiglitazone. Rosiglitazone was a drug which was released by GSK in the market in 1999. And in 2010, they withdraw this medicine because it caused a lot of death in the people because of heart attacks and high cholesterol. And this medicine was brought into the market by GSK, which is a leading pharmaceutical company called GlaxoSmithKline. And it made a lot of profit from the rosiglitazone. Later on, they told that rosiglitazone is not good for people, right? So what happened in 2012, the GSK was held guilty by the court of US, and they fined GSK that rosiglitazone, $3 billion, they fined GSK that rosiglitazone has caused so many deaths in the people. But even then, GlaxoSmithKline was still in profit out of the whole scam, since the total sale of rosiglitazone was $10 billion. Like we have a market in our Indian market, pioglitazone is a drug which is sold too much. Pios के नाम से आती है. It was banned in our many countries. In France and Germany, it is totally banned. But in India, the government banned this drug because of its greater association with ब्लैडर कैंसर बहुत कराती है पायोग्लिटाजोन. तो इंडिया में ये 12 जून 2013 को बैन कर दी गई. लेकिन फार्मास्यूटिकल कंपनियों ने फिर से गेम खेला. दे प्लेड अ गेम, फार्मास्यूटिकल कंपनी प्लेड अ गेम एंड दे सस्पेंडेड द बैन. एंड on 31st July 2013, the pioglitazone again came back into the market. At present in India, there are more than 30 lakh consumers of the pioglitazone tablets. Many of them are looking towards its expected side effects like bladder cancer. Like this, 30 lakh people may develop bladder cancer any moment of time. The market size of the diabetes drug industry in India, by considering the fact that per month sale of just one drug, metformin, is around 100 crore rupees. एक दवाई इंडिया में 100 करोड़ रुपए एक मंथ में पैसा कम, एक 100 करोड़ की दवाई बिकती है एक महीने में मेटफॉर्मिन. बाप रे बाप. Diabetes is a political disease. Number of diabetic patients in India is 65 million. Number of diabetic patients in the world is 381 million. India loses $25 billion per year because of diabetes, and world loses $500 billion per year because of diabetes. My God. What is disease mongering? लाइक डिजीज मॉन्गरिंग क्या करते हैं कि ये बेवकूफ बनाती है फार्मास्यूटिकल इंडस्ट्री, कि कहती है कि जो चीज जो बीमारी नहीं है उसको बीमारी, मतलब जो कि किसे कहते हैं स्टेटिंग अ नॉर्मल ह्यूमन एक्सपीरियंस एज एबनॉर्मल, लेबलिंग देम एज डिजीज एंड पुशिंग पीपल फॉर ट्रीटमेंट व्हिच इटसेल्फ लीड्स टू मैनी अनवांटेड कॉम्प्लिकेशंस। तो डिजीज मॉन्गरिंग कैसे होती है कि जो बीमारी जो नॉर्मल वैल्यू है उसको बताते हैं कि ये वैल्यू डिजीज है और आपको दवाइयां खानी है। तो इससे कैसे डायबिटीज होती है दिखाता हूं मैं आपको कि देखो क्या था कि 1997 में जो डायबिटीज का जो थ्रेशोल्ड था वो था कि 140 से अगर आपको शुगर ज्यादा है तो आपको डायबिटीज है। लेकिन इन्होंने क्या किया, अमेरिकन डायबिटीज एसोसिएशन ने कमेटी बिठाई 1997 में और कहा कि नहीं, 126 से ऊपर अगर आपको शुगर है तो आपको डायबिटीज है। उससे क्या हुआ, व्हाट हैपेंड इन वन नाइट देयर वाज 14% इंक्रीज इन द पीपल हु वर हैविंग डायबिटीज। This expert committee on diagnosis and classification of diabetes, a panel of WHO, they decreased the criteria of diabetes. But up till 1997, the criteria of diabetes was above 140. So what happened? And in 2003 again, they decreased this criteria of 126 to 100. मतलब पहले 140, if your sugar levels in 1997 were 141, then you are diabetic. But in 2003, if your level of sugar is 101, you are a diabetic. As a result, क्या हुआ? Suddenly the number of diabetic patients in India increased from 1.3 million to 20 million in 2003 in one night. एक रात के अंदर इंडिया में एक रात पहले 1 करोड़ लोगों को शुगर थी और एक रात के बाद 20 करोड़ लोगों को अचानक शुगर हो गई, क्योंकि इन्होंने क्राइटेरिया घटा दिया। In India, 3 times more patients were diagnosed with diabetes since 2003 in the age group of 40 to 64 years, and today more than 60 million of Indian population is being recognized as diabetic patients. एक बहुत बड़ी स्टडी हुई जामा, जर्नल ऑफ अमेरिकन मेडिकल एसोसिएशन, इसने कहा कि चाइना के ऊपर एक स्टडी करते हैं। चाइना के ऊपर अगर उन्होंने कहा कि अगर हम नेशनल डायबिटीज ग्रुप, जो कि 1979 में जिसने क्राइटेरिया दिया था कि 200 से अगर शुगर आपकी ज्यादा है तो आपको डायबिटीज है, अगर उसको अप्लाई करें चाइना की आज की पॉपुलेशन के 2018 में, तो ओनली 3% ऑफ द पीपल इन चाइना विल बी डायबिटिक। अगर आप WHO का 1999 का क्राइटेरिया अप्लाई करें कि 126 से ऊपर डायबिटीज होती है, तो चाइना की केवल 8% पॉपुलेशन को डायबिटीज होगी। अगर आप 2003 का अमेरिकन डायबिटीज एसोसिएशन का अगर क्राइटेरिया अप्लाई करते हैं दैट ग्रेटर देन 100 इज डायबिटिक, will mean 27% of the China population will become diabetic. And in 2010, if you put this criteria that above 140 pp, above 100 fasting, or if your HbA1c level is more than 5.7, if you put this criteria onto China's population of 2018, 50% of the China population will be diabetic. But if you put this criteria, only 4% of the Chinese are diabetic. So what do you mean to say about it? That pharmaceutical companies are playing a game. The people who are not diabetic are also labeled as diabetic. My God. So this is the committee, 7 people's committee, which sat at that time in 1997. All these 7 big consultants, Dr. George L. Beckwith, Dr. Jackson T. Wright, Dr. Suzanne Opperell, Dr. Henry R. Black, Dr. Joseph L. Gisso, Dr. William C. Cushman, Dr. Barry J. Matson, all these people were paid consultants from these 7 pharmaceutical companies. And these 7 people decided that sugar more than 100, you are a diabetic. This is actually a game played by the pharmaceutical companies. They want to make this whole world a diabetic. So, you know, American Diabetes Association is funded by 4 companies like Merck, Eli Lilly, GSK, and Pfizer, all of which make anti-diabetic drugs. This is called as disease mongering. This disease mongering is not only for diabetes, it is also for high blood pressure, because in 2001, they released a guideline of GNC 7 that BP more than 120/80 should be, all those people who have BP more than 120/80 should be given BP medicine. But in GNC 8 in 2017, they gave a guideline that above 150/90 only, the people should be given medicines. They make fool of the people, because when people took medicine for BP, when their BP was 130/90, 140/90, they developed a lot of side effects. And because of under pressure, of developing people, dying people, GNC 8 was released, which told that 120 by 80 is not the cutoff, rather 150 by 90 should be the cutoff, and people should only be given medicine once their BP is more than 160 by 90. About swine flu scam, you know, every year they produce new vaccine which actually don't give any protection against swine flu, because swine flu changes every year, it does mutation. So the vaccine which is every year released for swine flu does never give protections against the swine flu, because it is made for the older version. Like in 2017 what swine flu came, that strain is taken and the vaccine is made out of that. But swine flu which is coming in 2018 will be totally different, it will mutate and it will develop new. So these swine flu vaccines never give protection against diabetes. You know, half of all the clinical trials are not published, leaving doctors and the patients in the dark. This is a statement from Cochrane. मतलब डॉक्टर्स को बताया नहीं जाता, आधे क्लिनिकल ट्रायल्स के बारे में उनको डार्क में रखा जाता है, अदरवाइज डॉक्टर्स की नॉलेज, डॉक्टर्स आर मिसइन्फॉर्म्ड. This is the game played by the pharmaceutical company of which is called as the Pharmaganda. About insulin, some of the diabetics become very happy that we are taking insulin, and so we are the happiest person, we are taking the best medicine. But I want to tell you that insulin also causes cancer. If you're taking a lot of insulin, you will die of not of diabetes but of cancer, because insulin, this Lancet Oncology and Journal of National Cancer Institute have proved that the people who take a lot of insulin, they develop a lot of cancer. This is not only said by Lancet or Journal of National Cancer, इवन की डायबिटीज, अमेरिकन डायबिटीज एसोसिएशन ने भी ये कह दिया कि पीपल जो लोग इंसुलिन लगाते हैं उनको ज्यादा कैंसर होने का रिस्क है. सो इंसुलिन इंजेक्शंस कॉजेस more chances of you developing cancer. Now about reversal of diabetes. So I will take a 2-minute break and after that we will start again. Please type into the Facebook that I am audible. Please type into the Facebook that I am audible. So, about type 1 diabetes, see how to diagnose diabetes. There are 3 types of diabetes, type 1 or 1.5 or 2. If you are obese, अगर आप मोटे हैं तो सिंपल सी बात है कि 90% चांस है आपको टाइप 2 डायबिटीज है. बट अगर आप मोटे हैं तो अगर आप पतले हैं, इफ यू आर अ थिन पर्सन, सिंपली डू 2 टेस्ट. फर्स्ट इज ऑटो एंटीबॉडीज लाइक GAD65 antibody, GAD65 antibody. GAD 65 antibody or anti-insulin antibody, anti-insulin islet cell or insulin antibodies. If these two antibodies are negative, if you are positive, and your C-peptide level is low, you have LADA or type 1. Means there are in more skill. I will simple thing. This is more of a medical thing. I will tell you simple thing. If you are an obese person and you are a diabetic, your diabetes will just dissolve within 1 week with whole food plant-based diet. But if you are a very thin person and your age is very young, you may have type 1.5 or type 1.5 is autoimmune diabetes, 1 is type 1 diabetes. So you need more, like not only diet, but you want sujok, like acupressure, acupuncture, meditation, and yoga is also required to save you from this type 1 or 1.5. Means 2 diabetes is very easy to cure with just food. And you know, out of 100 people, if you take 100 people, out of those 100 people, 95 people will have 2 diabetes, 4 will have 1 diabetes, and only 1% out of 100 will have 1.5 diabetes. And these 2 diabetes are not that, means they will reverse very fast with the plant diet. But if you want to cure them fully, you need meditations, which I will be talking about. You need some acupressure, acupuncture, yoga, and type 2 diabetes is just very simply to be cured with food, right? So about diagnosis, if you should always remember, if your fasting sugar is more than 140 and PP is less than 200, you are not a diabetic. And important is how you feel. If no symptoms, no weakness, then it is just fine. You are a diabetic only if your sugar levels are more than 200. What is the target of sugar level to be kept in the diabetes? One big study was conducted called as ACCORD trial. ACCORD trial, Action to Control Cardiovascular Risk in Diabetes, in the year 2001. In one group, they kept very tight control of the sugar, like kept the HbA1c level below 6%. And in the group 2, they did not control sugar much, means they kept the sugar level around up to 200. Here they kept the sugar level, यहाँ पे sugar को रखा उन्होंने 100 और यहाँ पे sugar को रखा 200 around, and HbA1c का target यहाँ पे रखा था 7 to 7.9, and these people were followed for 5 years. And you know, in this, number of deaths were more where? Here or here? Here. No, here. People died here more. In the group 1, where the sugar level was kept around 100 with tablets or insulin, there was 22% more death in the group 1. So you don't need to control the sugar too much. If you are able to keep your average sugar level around 200, 180 without medicine, so you are doing very good. You are doing very good. ACCORD trial published result, a therapeutic strategy targeting blood sugar to near normal levels does not reduce cardiovascular events but increases the mortality in persons with diabetes at high risk. So you don't need to control sugar levels too much. Maybe you can take 1 or more tablets, but don't take 4 or 5 tablets to decrease your sugar levels, and you will have so many side effects with the tablets. So tablets should be minimum, more should be diet and the lifestyle changes, and some acupressure, acupuncture, some yoga and meditation. Stop refined products, stop, because they don't contain minerals. Don't take any packed food. Stop taking milk. If you stop these food, 3 M is milk, refined foods, and the packed food, you will halt the 3 types of food. It will halt diabetes type 1 and 2. Cold drink, you should replace it with coconut water. Okay. Cow's milk should be replaced with nut milk. How to make nut milk? Like you can make cashew milk, yeah, you can make almond milk. How to make this milk is available on the YouTube. Okay, and you can make these milks. This is how to make the nut milk. Take 8 to 10 almonds, wash and soak them for 4 to 6 hours in a limited water. Now add 200 ml of water in a blender along with almonds and blend it for 2 to 3 minutes. and nut milk is ready to drink. Stop cow's milk, take nut milk. Stop tea, rather replace your tea with the Hunza tea. Hunza tea is the Kashmiri kawa, which is used by Kashmiri people. And you know, Kashmiri people don't have much, they don't have diabetes or cancer, or very less they have. So they take a lot of kawa. I will tell you how it is to be taken. Stop your packed food and replace your packed food with fruits. Stop refined food and eat raw vegetables. And remember, whosoever is diabetic, you should exercise daily. Why? Because in our daily living, a doctor like me, how many muscles I use daily? Like I write something and keep sitting like this. Okay. So what I do is not much. Okay. So I am using only 20 muscles out of 640. Okay. But if you do a lot of brisk walking, plus your arms, some resistance exercises like this. So what will happen is you will develop your muscles will start working and your glucose will start going into the body. And I can guarantee you, whosoever is doing a jogging of 1 hour daily, his type 2 with plant-based, whole food plant-based diet will be cured in 1 week. And whosoever is type 1 diabetic or 1.5 diabetic, his sugars will reverse very fast. If you do, see, jogging and exercise should be very heavy. If you have diabetes, you need to do a lot of heavy exercise, okay? Means you can, simple walking may not be enough. You need to climb uphill, means resistance exercises. You should walk against the gravity up and down. More resistance you put to the body, more your sugar levels will go down. Whosoever is watching this video, if you walk from tomorrow onwards for 1 hour, you can check your sugar levels, they will be very low. So animal food should be totally stopped. Take nut milk or coconut water. No to all oils. Plant oils are very bad. Animal-based ghee is a poison. Plant protein improves the insulin sensitivity. Animal protein decreases the insulin sensitivity. Daily take 25 grams of sprouts daily. Take time to eat food, saliva, because if you have a daily same time of eating food, your body will always be ready. That his body knows that Pawan is going to eat food at 2 p.m. So it will start making insulin at 1:30. So your timing is very important. Always eat slowly and take time to eat, and eat at the same time daily. Keep the hope of recovery and help others. This lady is around 124 years old and she's still living. And if you ask this lady, what make you live long, that she tells that daily I wake up and thinks of helping other people. So always help other people, always keep hope of recovery, and you may cure your diabetes. What should be your diet chart? Your diet chart should be daily take 500 to 700 grams of citrus fruits. As per Triogen 6 key food consciousness, the citrus fruits are counted under this thing. Citrus fruits are wind foods, so they decrease your sugar levels. So you should daily take in the morning 500 to 700 grams of citrus fruits. Different types of fruits should be there. Eat any 3 fruits. Eat before you are hungry. In the lunch and the dinner, 2 plates should be taken. Plate 1, rainbow vegetables, like this. 500 grams of vegetables should be eaten after boiling or steaming them, or raw or mildly steamed. Don't remove outer coverings of these vegetables. No salt or very little rock salt or green delight chutney should be added on this. 50 grams of sprouts should be taken after that. And the second plate is your homemade food like roti, chapati, chawal, and these are your vegetables like dals and zero oil, homemade food with zero oil and ghee. Plate 1 is this, 2, and plate 2 is this in the afternoon. In the morning, only fruits. At 11:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. you want snacks. So what you should do, you take some nuts, 2-3 almonds, cashews, raisins, and Hunza tea. Hunza tea, or maybe green tea, or maybe black tea, anything you can take. Hunza tea is kawa, and I would like to tell, this is the recipe for Hunza tea. Hunza tea is available with Dr. Bishwarup and me. This is the recipe of Hunza tea. You can read this recipe here, and you can make this Kashmiri Kawa decreases the sugar level very fast. And there are two magical foods which I want to tell you. If you take 1 teaspoonful of apple cider vinegar, which should be from organic and raw unfiltered apple cider vinegar, 1 teaspoonful in 1 glass of water daily, your sugar levels will drop very fast. And the people who take little brewer's yeast daily, brewer's yeast is the yeast available in the market with which bread is made. If you take half teaspoonful of brewer's yeast in your sabji and dal 2 times a day, daily, you can cure your diabetes fully means fully in 3 months. This is so powerful, and it is very cheap to buy and natural. So these 2 foods are the magic foods which I say for diabetes. Take these foods, okay? Formula to reverse diabetes is 10 into 10 into your body weight equal to grams of fruits in the morning. For example, your weight is 60, so you should take 600 grams of fruits in the morning. 10 into weight in kg equal to grams of raw steamed vegetables. Like if your weight is 60 kg, you should take 600 grams of raw vegetables or steamed vegetables in the 1 day, minus you should not touch or even a drop of animal fat, or like milk, non-veg and egg and fish should be 0, and packed food should be 0. And if you do this, follow this formula for 1 month, you can cure your type 2 diabetes and you can reverse your type 1 diabetes. Diet rules should be: eat before you feel hungry, take time to eat, timely eat, keep extra stock of food, no to all supplements, milk products, refined, packed foods, sugar, salt and oil, sunshine for 1 hour, exercise 20 minutes, I think maybe it should be 1 hour, daily exercise for 1 hour, okay? Close monitoring of the sugars and reduce the dose of your medicines slowly, right? Final step, stop eating packed food, refined food, dairy products and nutritional supplements. Many studies have proved that if you take multivitamin tablets, there are more chances that you will die early. The current evidence does not support the use of antioxidant supplements in the general population or in the patients with various disease. So if you want to take any supplement, it should be only of vitamin D or vitamin B12. Vitamin B12 should be cyanocobalamin, which should be taken, and vitamin D should maybe taken once a week of 60,000 units. The tablets, whatever local companies you have. But if you go into the sun for 20 minutes daily, that in the afternoon time, and if you are taking some fermented foods like sprouts or some kanji or some rice which was made in the night time and taking in the morning, you may get your vitamin B12. But still I recommend, if you want to take any supplement, only vitamin B12 and vitamin D supplements are okay to take. Rest, no other supplement is required or is recommended. You should not take vitamin tablets, because this Cochrane summaries has told that eating more of multivitamin tablets causes more diseases. When you are eating a lot of fruits, you are eating a lot of vegetables, why you want so much of multivitamin tablets? One of the first duties of the physician is to educate the masses not to take medicine. This is the William Osler, described as the father of the modern medicine. Now, how to heal the human body? Again, if I want to tell you how to heal the human body, is there are 4 things I told you: by meditation, by Sujok acupressure, by like acupuncture, acupressure, these things are required, or by yoga, servicing of the body, or whole food plant-based diet. So this is discussed now. Type 2 diabetes can be cured just with the whole food plant-based diet, but about type 1 diabetes and the type 1.5 diabetes, I would like to discuss now more of these things. Okay, so in this, the part of the mechanic, you how to discuss now. Let's go. In my recommendation, if you want to go to allopathic doctor or to acupressure, acupuncture, homeopathy, Ayurveda or Sujok specialist, my choice, this is my personal version. My personal version is, I want you people to visit a Sujok specialist. Why? Sujok is the ultimate healing tool. Because see, there are so many diseases, there are so many therapies. We are looking for a final answer. Find the ultimate instrument and integrate all the principles of therapies into it. In Sujok, you can see that God has made hand very similar to the body. Right? You can see. And in Sujok, you see everything is very clear and very simple. Like it's the simplest form of the acupressure and acupuncture, where you can cure, like in your hand, you can just need to press some liver points, some pancreas points. It is very easy for a layman rather than in a body acupuncture where you need to put the needles. And because hand is very similar to the body, hand is very, very similar to the body, what is there is any layman, any person can press points, right? And you know, these points, once pressed, they give a lot of therapeutic relief. So endocrine glands are there. You can see the pancreas of the body is there in here. Here's the pancreas, right? So pancreas, thyroid is there. So what you can do, you can just press, find some kind of maybe a probe and use this kind of probe, and then you can find some pancreas points. And if you press the correct pancreas point, your sugar levels will drop. If you press liver points, your sugar levels will drop. So out of all types of acupuncture and acupressure, it is my personal opinion to use more of Sujok acupressure and acupuncture, because it is very simple to use and gives very good results and can be easily used by anybody. I prefer Sujok as a mechanic job. So hand is similar to the body, 100%. Law of resonance, all is connected to all. What is there, if you press points on the hair, it gives therapeutic benefits in the body. Means Sujok is like a remote control. Your hand is like a remote control, and you can just press the button and you can cure the disease. Like some diabetes patient has got neuropathy, just massaging on these two central fingers, you give some oil massage on these two fingers, his burning and numbness will go off. Simply, if a diabetic patient has headache, just pressing here can cure headache. If you have a back pain, just pressing here can cure back pain very fast, like a second. So hand and foot are designed as a remote control, which has a curative power and can take any shape as per our imagination and intention to cure the body, mind, and the soul. So Sujok, what in Sujok they have done, Chinese acupuncture is there, which is very effective in curing sugars, diabetes, but they put needles on the body. In Sujok, what they have done is they have plotted all the Chinese meridians on the hand, and rather than putting needles on the body, in Sujok they put needles on the hand. Simple, very simple. Means like enjoy putting needles here, and you can do big miraculous cure. Even Indian chakra system, you have Muladhara, you have Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anahata, Vishuddha, Ajna, and all these chakras are plotted on the hand. So if suppose somebody says that in a sugar patient, Manipura chakra is not working well, so just by pressing this chakra here with this probe, you can decrease your sugar levels. This is Indian ancient healing of chakra system, which can be cured by Sujok. Even in India, they say that Anulom Vilom Pranayam is very good to balance the nadis, and you can balance these nadis with the Sujok simply by there is a method how to balance Ingla, Pingla, and Sushumna simply, like rather than doing a lot of pranayam. I say pranayam is good. Anulom Vilam, there is no match, but maybe sometimes you are feeling uneasy, your right body is heavy, and you don't have the time to do balancing of the nadis. You just press your hand here, and Sushumna will start working more, and your body will feel good. Like it's so simple. So I want all of you to learn Sujok acupressure from a good Sujok therapist, which is under the guidance of ISA, International Sujok Association, and Zone system is there where you can cure your chest pains very fast. You can, if somebody is dying, you can give CPR to that patient in Sujok. If you have high fever, just placing your fingertips can bring your fever down in 5 minutes. Ayurveda principles can also be used in Sujok. This is Agni finger, this is Disha finger, this is Akash finger, this is Prithvi finger, Man finger. So if somebody has too much of water in the body, so just by using this finger and facing it towards the earth, you can decrease the edema of that patient. So many things. If somebody has so much of itching, Vayu finger can be used. So all this is given in Sujok and is very easy. So somebody has so much of autoimmune problem. In Sujok, the doctors, if you have an autoimmune problem like myasthenia gravis or some kind of SLE, multiple sclerosis, what doctors give is injections of steroids. And which is the natural gland which secretes steroids in the body is the adrenal gland. And in Sujok, this is the kidney and this is the adrenal gland. So if you massage these fingers, just massaging of the fingers of the hand can cure your SLE, rheumatoid arthritis, and LADA, 1.5 diabetes. So Sujok is very important for all of the therapists to learn. You can learn anything, like maybe, but everybody should have access to some kind of mechanical job where they can cure your small things, right? So in Sujok is very advanced, and brain centers are there. There's a point for decreasing the sugar level also here, for cough, for fever also. There's a point in the brain, and all the brain has been mapped on the hand in Sujok. So by pressing a particular point, if you know Sujok very well, you can improve your body's condition. If you have you have a tooth problem, you want some root canal treatment, you can, this is your nail joint, and you can just here, you can put some needle and do root canal treatment here. So all dentist problem can also be tackled with Sujok. So Sujok is very good, and you should all learn this modality for diabetes. Like, for example, if somebody is diabetic and obese patient, simple putting of green colors like this, Anahata chakra, green color, Manipura chakra, green color, Swadhisthana chakra, green color, liver meridian, green color, spleen meridian, green color, brain meridian, green color. If you put the colors like this and the patient is diabetic and fatty, his sugar levels will come down very, very fast. But if the patient is a diabetic and a thin patient, then you have to put these colors on Swadhisthana and Vishuddha, red colors. If you put, his sugar levels will drop very fast. This is my YouTube video where all of you can go and learn Sujok acupuncture. And this is one of my best talks, which was given in an international level. You can go, just click on this link, and this thing will open. This YouTube link will open. This is my talk where I have been talking about Sujok acupuncture. This was
in this way, 5 protrusions from the body, 5 protrusions from
this talk is an international talk given by me, and you can all have access to this talk, and you can all learn the importance of Sujok, right? So you can go here to learn this, right? So so what I would suggest is Sujok, the ultimate healing tool, should be learned by most of the diabetic patients. Healing with mudras is also there. You all know that Indian ancient system is full of mudras. Prithvi mudra is very good for diabetes. Pran mudra is very good for diabetes. Apan mudra is very good for diabetes. Surya mudra is very good for diabetes. Gyan mudra is very good for diabetes. Ling mudra is very good for diabetes. To decrease the sugar level, these mudras can be practiced. Shankh Mukhi mudra is also very good for diabetes. This mudra can be practiced and can be learned from YouTube. But in Sujok, if you know Sujok, you don't want to do so much. In Sujok, the healings are very simple. Mudra therapy is a branch of Sujok, and Mudra system is studied in detail by Sujok people. Generalizations are done. Left hand is for mind disease, right hand is for body disease. And if you have type 1 diabetes, this finger is to be used. If you have tension, like mind problem, if some patient develops diabetes not due to wrong eating, but he has many family tensions, then this finger can be used. If autoimmune problems are there, then this finger can be used. So any diabetic emergency is there, this mudra can be placed, and that the emergency will go down within 5 minutes. Like you have severe pain in the abdomen, or some mouth is getting dry, or urination is too much, just placing this mudra like this will cure you. And then type 2 diabetes, this is the mudra for type 2 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes, this is the mudra. This mudra, if you use, it helps in curing type 1 diabetes. This is a mudra chart where everything has been given. And if you want to learn these mudras in very detail, you can contact one of my Facebook friend, Dr. Pankaj Jain. He is the master teacher of the mudra healings at present. And like many people, I will tell you that one of my patient had high sugar levels because there was a problem in her family, that her husband was engaged with some love affair. Okay, and one of my patient had diabetes because there was too much loan for that patient, and you cannot cure with pressing points or giving insulin or doing diet. For that you need to learn mudras, because with mudras you can enter into the personal life of the patient, family life, social life, spiritual life. Like family finance is low and patient has diabetes, so you can use this finger here. So how to do this in detail? If you want to learn mudra therapy in detail, contact Dr. Pankaj Jain, or what you can do is, this is my Facebook link where I have given I have taken a lecture, hand as a reflection of body. Here I have given all the mudra healings in the detail. If you have too much of tension, okay, what mudra to use. If you have some family issue, if you have a political issue and you are having a lot of stress, tension, like Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, the CM of Delhi, has a lot of stress because of his political life, and he has diabetes. He's on insulin injections, so he may be prescribed this mudra. Like maybe these details are given at this YouTube link. You can open it here, and this is the link where I have discussed all the mudras in details. Okay, this is available here. So you can watch this video. It is very good to listen to this video. It will help you a lot, right? So I think you all will be very happy to know these links, because they are very good, and you can later on see those links. Hand as a reflection of body. So yoga to reverse diabetes is again very important, and these are the yoga asanas which are proven to decrease sugar levels. Like Mandukasana, you should do properly, learn it from YouTube or your yoga teacher, and do it properly, can decrease your sugar level. Dhanurasana, if done properly, decreases the sugar levels. Halasana, if done properly, decreases your sugar levels. Parivrat Janu Sirasan. Parivrat Janu Sirasan also decreases sugar levels. Ardha Matsyendrasan decreases the sugar. This is a wonderful asana. If your sugar level is 500, you do this asana for 10 minutes, your sugar level will come down to 300 within 15 minutes. Mayurasana is very good. You should learn all those asanas under your yoga teacher. And one of my best yoga teacher in Panipat is Mr. Hemant Chauhan. He's a wonderful teacher of yoga, and you may contact him. He's my Facebook friend also for all these asanas. Otherwise, whatever local yoga teacher is available, you can learn all those asanas from your yoga teacher. Vrikshasana is also very good for curing sugars. Agnisar Kriya is very good. This is a very special done by Baba Ramdev, but you should learn it properly from your yoga, because yoga is servicing of the body is important. And if you want a simple yoga, Then there I have also a solution for you. Therapeutic and simplified yoga for diabetes. The simplest yoga is the twist therapy. These are 4 positions. Out of these 4 positions, one position will decrease your sugar level. Like today you can stand in this position and check your sugar level. Stand in this position for 20 minutes and check your sugar level. Then stand in this position, check your sugar level. Then stand like this or stand like this. Out of this one position, out of these 4 positions, one position will decrease your sugar level like anything. Like your sugar level is 500 and after this position your sugar level may come down to 150. In which position? जिस भी position में आपका sugar level low होगा, वो position आपको daily, then you have to practice only that position daily. So if you want to learn this yoga, I am giving you one YouTube link where I have discussed this simplified twist therapy yoga for you people, where you can learn this simplified yoga. You can here you can learn this. So
not very uncomfortable and is not having too much headache therapy.
Like
this is called as patient comes back from any twist therapy.
Here I'm teaching. Stand. Here I am teaching how to do this yoga properly. You can go to this YouTube link and enjoy this simplified, best possible yoga to cure your diabetes, right? So that's good. And now some people develop diabetes because of, say, they have so much of fear, anxiety, agony, hatred, sadness, jealousy. You need to control these emotions also, because some of the patients, their diabetes does not get controlled with this thing, right? So what you need to do is here is emotions. Because of this so much emotions, the diabetes develops, and your adrenal gland starts getting fatigued, and you develop other autoimmune disease also. What you do, if a patient who has a lot of tension, sadness, anxiety, you just apply these colors like this. This is the color therapy for emotions. Whosoever has emotional problem and her sugar levels are, or his sugar levels are high, you just put these colors for 10 days and his sugar levels will come down very fast. This is color therapy for emotion. It is an emotional protocol of triage acupuncture. Type 1 diabetes is a darkness condition, remember, and we need to ignite the vibration of smile into the person. If you really want to cure type 1 diabetes, you want food, you want yoga, you want sunlight, and you want is sujok, you want acupressure, acupuncture. But type 1 diabetes is very difficult to control. For this, you need smile meditation. Now let's discuss this. What is about meditation? Meditation is just simply toning the autonomic nervous system and the vagus. You know, when you are sleeping and you are very happy and not in stress, your vagus nerve is working and your heart rate is simply 60 and 70. Okay, but when you take tension, your vagus nerve is not working, it gets inhibited. Okay, and your tachycardia, your sympathetic nervous system starts working more. So by your meditation in medical field, what you need to do is just you want to tonify your vagus nerve and your autonomic nervous system. This is what meditation is. Meditation is like a nerve connection between your nervous system and the immune system. If you are too much relaxed, then your immune system functions as an anti-inflammatory. But if you are having too much of nervous stress, it will cause inflammation. So what you want is to get relaxed more and more, so that your immune system does not malfunction. आपका immune system सही काम करता रहे. The Eastern disciplines of yoga, qigong, and Zen all involve slow breathing. So in meditation, what is the best thing you should do is to breathe slowly. When meditation, see, I also don't know much about meditation, but I take results out of it. Means I am not been taught by anybody. I just attended in my whole life a 4-day class of smile meditation by Professor Park Jebu. But I took that very seriously. And in all my type 1 diabetes patients, I use slow breathing exercises. They sit at one place, they smile, and they do slow breathing exercises. They breathe very, very slowly. And if you breathe very slowly, what happens? Your heart rate goes up and down with your breathing. When you breathe in, your heart rate tends to go up, and when you breathe out, your heart rate tends to go down. So what happens when you breathe in, your heart rate is up to 150, and when you breathe out, your heart rate is suddenly 70. So what you do, you train your autonomic nervous system. Suddenly you are taking your heart rate to 150, then you are taking your heart rate to 70, then 180, then 60. So your autonomic nervous system is getting tonified. Vagus is becoming strong by if you do daily meditation and slow breathing practice. So what you do, make your heart rate go up as far as possible and then down as far as possible. So it is like this jhula, where suddenly your heart rate is 150 and suddenly it is 70. So what happens if you do daily, and then next day when you have a lot of some problem is going on and you get very angry suddenly, then because you have done this practice of meditations, you will control your anger within 1 second. Like anger came, your heart rate goes up, and in the next breath, your anger is fully controlled and your heart rate is 70 and you are normal. Means anger comes with some situations, but with meditation practices and with slow breathing exercises, you can control your emotions, your stress level within, like you get stressed, suddenly your heart rate is going up and you breathe in, and when you slow down daily, within 1 second, your stress has gone. So meditation makes you how to tackle your life situation. It makes you stronger. You are not under the influence of your emotions. So you should practice it daily, especially if you want to cure type 1 diabetes, you need a lot of meditation. So slow breathing showed the potential to be a simple and inexpensive method to improve autonomic balance and respiratory control and reduce blood pressure in hypertensive patients. Breathing, what is the rate of breathing in your meditation? It should be 5 breaths per minute. You should not take more than 6 breaths in 1 minute. Maybe if you're not able to hold your breath, you can take up to 8 breaths per minute or 10 breaths per minute. It depends on your capability. Initially, you may like to breathe 10 times in 1 minute. Then you may like to breathe 4 to 5 times per minute. But more slow you breathe, more you become more powerful, and your autonomic nervous system is becoming more stronger, and your disease will start reversing, and especially type 1 diabetes will reverse. The people who have a lot of tension in their life, if you want something in the diet for them, then saffron, kesar, it is a wonder drug for depression and stress. Okay, how many of you are listening to me? Am I clear? Please type in the Facebook that I am very clearly audible to you. We have to finish the seminar, guys, fast. Please type in the Facebook that I am very clear to you. So I just checked on the Facebook. I am very clear. And so saffron is a wonder drug for depression and stress, right? If you take 1 pinch of saffron in 1 glass of, 1 चुटकी केसर 1 गिलास पानी में अगर आप लेते हैं, तो आपको टेंशन नहीं होगी, आपको एपिलेप्सी, इसका एंटी एपिलेप्टिक इफेक्ट है, एंटी अल्जाइमर्स इफेक्ट है, एंटी डिप्रेसेंट एंड एंटी स्किजोफ्रेनिया इफेक्ट्स है, एंटी पार्किंसंस इफेक्ट्स है, न्यूरोनल इंजरी और एपोप्टोसिस इट प्रिवेंट्स, neuroinflammation it decreases, and brain neurotransmitters it increases. So saffron is a wonder drug if you have depression and stress. So whosoever have a depression or stress, I recommend them to take a lot of saffron. So what we can do is take a pinch of saffron, take 1 glass of water and boil that, and this golden color of hot water can be taken in the form of tea, maybe 4 to 5 times if you develop a lot of stress and tension. So this is the God's gift in the form of saffron. So whose diabetes is not getting controlled by following strictest बढ़िया से बढ़िया diet follow करने के बाद भी, the strictest diet you follow, your diabetes is not getting controlled, you should follow, you should take saffron and do meditation. You know, if you treated every single person as your beloved other, the world would change overnight. Cruelty and violence would end. Lack and insufficiency would evaporate. Suffering would disappear. Oppression would cease. Inequality would dissolve. Anger would terminate. Loneliness and isolation and separation would be no more. And we would all experience life as it was intended to be lived. So treat every single person as your beloved. अगर आप किसी भी बंदे को मिलते हैं दिन में, उसके बारे में जो भी सोचते हैं आप, आपको ऐसा लगना चाहिए कि मेरा अपना घर का रिश्तेदार है. He is my relative, he is my mom, he is my dad. So whenever I write any tablet for a patient, I write like if I am giving it to my mother, so that all the cruelty and violence ends, suffering disappears. So we need to hug each other and change our behavior so that world more love we spread to the people, and over society this hatred and jealousy, all these things go out of the society so that we develop a healthy civilization. It is all about smile. You know, zero world or this world, which came first? The zero world. Who came first, God or the man? God came first. And who came out of these two? Egg came first or the chicken came first? Egg came first. Why? Because zero world has the zero nature, God has the zero nature, and out of the chicken and the egg, which has the zero nature, egg has the zero nature. So egg came first. In the similar way, smile came first or the success came first? In this world, people only smile when they achieve some success, and they all struggle to achieve success. Out of smile and success, which has the zero nature? Smile. So if you smile simply, because smile has the zero nature, so smile came first, the success will come automatically. So to get success, actually you don't need to struggle. Means people say, I will be smiling if I get 10 crore rupees, or if I get Mercedes car, I will be smiling like anything. And they struggle to get that Mercedes car for 10 years. But I say, if you just smile now, you may get Mercedes car tomorrow. So guys, just smile, because smile actually brings success. Smile is the seed for success. Success is not the seed for smile. So daily smile, sit in meditation quietly and breathe slowly, tonify your nervous system, tonify your autonomic nervous system, tonify your vagus. And what we can do is, this smile, I want to tell you, smile starts with the embryonic development. Smile is contagious. People that smile tend to live longer and disease free. It helps to relax. Smile is the reverse of the stress, and smile is 100% free. It helps people to communicate in a better way. This embryo, smiling child. And we can end all the suffering if we know what to eat to prevent the diseases. Keep smiling in all the situations to end all the disputes. And smile meditation. Success follow this. Now, if you have any wish right now, because you are following a very good seminar, anybody who has any wish who wants to get, and some of you maybe want to get cured of diabetes, somebody wants something, like somebody wants some money, or maybe some loan should go, some personal family problems. So with me now, just for 5 minutes, just smile, and I can guarantee within next day your problem will be solved. It can, magic can happen. We are doing a 2-minute smile meditation. Just be with me. Be with me. Right? So smile meditation is very, very, very important. Close your eyes, guys. Just a 2-minute meditation with me. Smile. Smile, smile. your breathing. Slow your breathing. Breathe deeply and slowly. Smile. Your wish may get fulfilled. Just smile. Breathe deeply. Smile. Slow down your breathing. Control your breathing. Slow down. Take the breath deep. Deep breaths. Slow breaths. Smile. There is nothing like this bliss. Smile, guys. Don't open your eyes, just close your eyes. Smile. Smile. Don't open your eyes. Just keep breathing slowly and keep smiling. Keep smiling. Keep smiling. You can feel this peace. This is the vibration which I want you to achieve, because this vibration can cure you of type 1 diabetes just in one sitting, one day. And all your wishes will get fulfilled. Now slowly open your eyes. This is the vibration which I wanted if this vibration is achieved perfectly for maybe for 1 month, for 2 months, all the disease can go off. That's why meditation is so important. Okay, and you just smile, whatever you want will get fulfilled. And tomorrow message me, whatever wish you wanted, it will get fulfilled by tomorrow, right? So this is his smile civilization, which I think we can disease-free, lovable, and quarrel-free, and all are loving each other, and we can achieve smile civilization. In cases of emergency, if you have any emergency like vomiting, stomach pain, you can use Sujok. And for 1 hour, if it is not getting controlled, take a lot of water. Whosoever diabetic gets any pain, headache, dry mouth, flushed face, increased pulse, you may be developing diabetic ketoacidosis. So what you do, take 5 liters of water daily, immediately, and immediately start doing Sujok, like start massaging your liver, pancreas, and if you know your position, which yoga was suiting you, just put in that position and take a lot of water. And if within 1 hour to 2 hours, if you are not getting all right, go to your doctor immediately. Go to your doctor. If somebody develops, suddenly becomes, who is diabetic, goes into coma, just do some, never substitute hospital. Take the patient to the hospital. Don't tell I am a Sujok therapist, I am acupuncturist, and you are not. No, whoever is unconscious should be taken to the hospital. But on the way, you can do Sujok or some acupressure and give some water if he is able to take the patient to the hospital. If you have hypoglycemia, then if you have glucagon injection, give that injection to the patient immediately, or give some sweets. Even then, if it is not improving, take the patient to the hospital. If any patient of diabetes has got chest pain, immediately take the patient to the hospital, because it may be a fatal heart attack. And this is some 6 key food consciousness, which I will be taking in the next seminar. And it is one of the great knowledge which I will be talking to you people in my next seminars. And these are my gurus, Professor Park Jae-woo, who brought me the highest level of consciousness, Dr. Michael Greger with his book, How Not to Die. I'm a great fan of him. Dr. John McDougall, Dr. I skipped Dr. T. Colin Campbell, Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn, and Dr. Dean Ornish. Sorry, one of my favorite gurus, Dr. Dean Ornish. I just respect him. Whatever knowledge he has given me, all these gurus, and Dr. Bishwarup Roy Chaudhary, all these gurus have given me diet knowledge to me about nutrition. And Professor Park Jae-woo is given me Sujok knowledge, about the yoga knowledge, and the meditation knowledge. So because of all these gurus, the byproduct Pawan Madhavan has been produced. And these are my websites, www.medisujok.com. These are my Facebook pages, like Diabetes Reversal with Whole Food Plant-Based Diet. And this is Medisujok. And with this, thank you to all of you. And now I will be taking maybe some of the questions from the Facebook, if are any. And this is the end of the seminar. And the next seminar is on, which I am going to do. The next seminar is on, autoimmune disease and arthritis reversal program in July. It will be a mind-blowing seminar, and I just want to tell you, don't miss it. I will be telling the details on the Facebook very shortly. And after attending that seminar, you can reverse the autoimmune disease and you can cure yourself of arthritis. So just I am taking some questions. now if there were any. So, I just want to take some questions, but there are no questions actually. I'm not able to visualize on the Facebook. Let me see if I can do it here on the Facebook. Comments are, can diabetics take hibiscus tea? Yes, you can take hibiscus tea, Daniel, Anil ji, Bhupinder ji. There are no questions right now. I think everything is clear to everybody. Wow. Any questions? For 5 minutes, I am waiting for you people. Please type. Please type. Any questions, guys? Any questions? You are welcome. There are no questions? There are no questions. So, okay. No matter. It's okay, guys. People, can you say, are you satisfied with the seminar? Please type in the Facebook if you are all satisfied with the seminar. Are you all satisfied and okay? Are you all satisfied? Nobody is typing. Have you all left? Okay, thank you, Indrajit ji. He is happy for this wonderful seminar. And then thank you guys for listening to me. This seminar will be available on the Facebook now continuously. I request you, please share this seminar with mass level of people, with a lot of people, so that they get benefit from my knowledge and they reverse their diabetes. Okay, so share it with people, and diabetes is curable. Diabetes is curable. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. I love you all.